Oh, right. So last time we played, the party had approached the Toothy Mod entrance to the City of Spines, greeted by two powerful warriors, and to gain entrance, an enslaved tiefling was dragged to heel to act as a translator. This slave explained the Queen of Flesh and Sinew rules over the city and that her power is absolute. You had to disarm and undoff your armor, handing them over to Sofia Neves, the Azumar loyal to Vela. As women in this culture have the right to possess weapons, whereas men do not. Entering through a protected tunnel where mutated denizens of the lowest level of the city reached out, starving hands, wanting hands towards the party. You got to the entrance, the elevator taking up to the first level. You rose off that squalid pit into the market region of the city, into the ever blue bazaar, where a massive crystal clear water fountain was the focal point of the market. Trying to learn what you could about the regular currency around this region is that your coinage, your basic, things that you have a wealth, are not tolerated within the city limits. And you've seen signs that the Hydra Syndicate has been beheaded quite literally, and this place is as opposite to the rule of law following society of the Concord as one could get. You avoided the Queen's Scarlet Circle, her private military force, her blood mage warrior army, and at that time a stranger of no Sage came to your party's aid, or side, shall we say, recognizing your language. Following her to her den, where both Torko and Liranok recognized her as Professor Maximiliano Blanco, a once great educator of celestial records, here now to finish whatever research started her decline within society and her status within the capital. Searching for a way out of this brutal place, the professor explained that the gem barons are the only ones with enough sway to grant such things, excluding the queen herself. Sleeping for one night in this cramped den, heading back out into the market square where you witnessed the bladed rain, the literal riches falling from the sky, where the party managed to save most of who were injured by the falling debris. Sophia and Orly separately stole white and yellow shards from those who managed to scoop up some in the confusion. Torkel and Thoric followed a killer scavenger who claimed the white shards off of a body. The scavenger tried to tuck it away, but in the end, Torkel slain her for her attitude to life and that corpse. With enough currency now to afford to travel up one level, the party picked the twins as the barons they wanted to do business with. A brief meeting in the lair had a deal arranged. The party is to steal at least 3 lava crawler eggs from a nest in the slopes of the Grey Washer volcano, and in return, the twins will order their maids to teleport the party out of the city. A few small close calls with social decorum navigated by Sophia, Torkel, and Hendrik had the party leave, but not before seeing a strange foreign map across a table spotted by Orley. Now the party stands at the edge of the split city district. Its rope bridges across the territory of the other gem baron in front of you. You're, as you were before, you're, disarmed. You have just come out of this meeting with these twin gem barons. You have an objective. You have a direction given to you through, translations and finger pointing of which mountain you could see from the city limits to head towards. What do you want to do?
Can I first think back on the original map that we found that showed kind of like the waypoint from Kalmarsh towards the was it the Elend mines?
You mean the one that you found from the scout?
Yeah. Because that did show a rough geography of like the eastern lands and stuff like that. So would I be able to think back on that and kind of like see if there's any similarity to the map I just spied from like my peripheries on the way out?
Yeah, it looks like it's not a one-to-one scale, nor is it in quality, but best guess on your perception of the two maps and looking over them, it would be like a left-hand side to the map from the City of Spines west to, the Concord lands, and this map that you've got now, they would almost join up roughly in the middle of being the west side of the left-hand side of the map and the right-hand side of the map.
Yeah, although this does look like a kind of maps to like overlooking the east of where we are right now.
Yeah, but the map you saw in that room was very much like a historical template map, like not it's not for scale, it's more for grandioseness. It was more designed to show, actual big geography rather than the actual map that you find from the scouts, where it was like, these are features within the landscape, these are rocky caverns, this is canyons, this is, dangerous. That's a very much annotated map. So two different styles, but they seem similar in that they join up geography wise.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
And there was no markers or anything like. I know I only caught a glimpse. There wasn't any like miniatures or even markers.
No, nothing.
Markings.
Nothing recognized as like general movements of like troop movements. Nothing like that on that map that was splayed out like with some weights on it inside the twins' quarters.
Okay. Enough. Probably just any kind of map then, I suppose. So what is our plan?
I don't know. I'm waiting, and you guys tell me what you want to do.
I think
Our
everyone's
plan's
just
to go get those eggs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather travel back today, but we don't seem to have the option. So
Right now, our only option is to trade, really, and to get those eggs and trade it, right?
either get the eggs or utilize whatever map it is that we have as a bargaining chip.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Depends what people are comfortable with, how much information we want to give them, and if we think it'll actually get us teleported back straight away.
Well, I'll on the topic of that. I will say to you guys, like the party, I spied the map on the table, and it seemed to be kind of the lands around here and further to the east. I don't know if that means anything. Didn't look like there was any plans for battlements or any form of troop movement, but maybe they do have eyes east, and what we have in our possession could be of value. But I'm not. I don't know too much about any of this. I was a scout when I was in the brass shields. There wasn't much I knew of war.
Even if we do decide to barter with it, it won't be us bartering. It'll be is it Sophia?
Sophia.
Yeah.
But we kind of need to make a decision before we leave the city to go find these eggs.
Would you give me a survival check, please? Just because you got that, we're glossing over it, but you would have been pointed out, that's the mountain you want to head towards, and this is a rough description of the kind of entrance. Not leaving in the dark. Give me just a survival check, please. 13. Probably, maybe, best case scenario, nothing goes wrong. 3 to 4 hour hike there, 3 to 4 hour hike back.
Right.
And currently, it is about 11, 12 in the morning, best you can guess. So if you go there, you come back, providing that things don't go too wrong, you could be out of here before even midnight comes.
Yeah.
You think we could travel there, yoink the eggs, and come back, and maybe before bedtime?
It depends how difficult it is to get the eggs.
I could try to sneak, but I don't know how plausible that will be if we're going up against, what was it, insects?
Some kind of like fireworm or something like that.
A worm? Maybe a worm. I could sneak past a worm, I think.
Can we remember what the actual eggs were like? What they?
Yeah, I can't remember if we were talking out of game or not about the whole insect thing.
They called them lava crawlers. And best, this is all that a lot of this speaking was done through the translation of a tongue spell, so it's probably the best translation for the word that she used.
All right.
Okay, so we actually don't know what these things are. I mean, we could Well, I know we don't really have a lay of the land here either. I was about to suggest we maybe find somebody who could give us some information before we just saunter on in there, but we're
don't need
already
a time to be able to talk to them because none of us speak the language, and I doubt
No.
there's going to be a library or anything like that here. So we basically just have our own information.
Mm.
Do we even know what the language is?
No.
No.
We know that we can't speak it.
Well, I'm happy enough. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I'm happy to do the hike and scout the place out, at least see what it's like. Or I'm also happy with the possibility of trading what we have. However, how long is this spell that we have up for? Is
An
it
hour
much longer?
tongues. Nah, tongues
Yeah, so
last for an hour, I'm pretty sure.
You've still got like another good 45 minutes left of that spell.
We have to decide now whilst we're right here.
Yeah.
If we want to trade or if we want to go.
What are we going to do with that map other than give it to someone, right? Because like best case scenario and the alternative is, or like realistic scenario and the alternative is it's going to take us 8 hours to travel there, there and back. So 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that back here. And then we'd have to be teleported or transported to the house or the area back home, right?
Yeah.
Back in Breakwater.
And plus, if we do get into trouble whilst we're out there,
exactly.
we might want to take a short rest or so. Factor in the possibility that we'll have to rest after the fight. So let's say 10 hours max.
But like once that is done, we just go back to Breakwater, and we still have the map on us, and no one has it or anything like that. So we probably should give it. If it's going to be useful, we probably should give it to someone. It just depends who we give it to.
Yeah, well, I do agree. However, I'm afraid of any kind of like bad implications. Us trying to give that map to the twins, for example, would have like they could turn around and say, we know nothing about them.
Yeah.
So in an effort to try and expedite our trip home, we could be literally expediting our way to another jail cell.
Jail cell. That's a good point.
This time all of us will be thrown in.
Suppose we could try and give it to one of the people who represents the Queen, but we don't know if she has anything that we want in terms of teleportation magic.
How would we even like? We'd have to go a level up before we can even get to that point, right?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, probably. That's a good point. We'd have to pay for it. We don't have the money.
I mean, we got a pretty good bargain or agreement as is. We know.
Depending on how difficult it is to kill whatever the hell a lava crawler is.
I don't know. It just seems easy to go and kill some lava creature than to, throw up in the air something that we own that we don't know anything about and don't know any intentions of anybody else around here. It's simpler, at least.
I'm happy to listen to the group. Does anybody else have any opinions on whether or not we give the potentially incriminating map to,
or potentially rewarding map?
Yeah,
it's we're going to call it Schrodinger's map.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know this political environment well enough to utilize it. Whereas
it's just going to rot with us then.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing to rot in our possession, really, is it?
We don't know enough, and we can't necessarily be paralyzed by indecision. just gonna have to pick one.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to do one this trip.
Well, what are you leaning towards, Solus?
I think siding more with the Queen is probably the best solution.
So trying to find somebody with interests, good intentions, or at least from their perspective, with the map that we have.
Yes.
Okay.
That's plan A. Plan B is whoever gets us home. It's... Oh,
the other
it's
thing
a tough
is,
one.
like, do we completely trust? Like, I know we made a bargain and stuff like that, and we were told, "Oh, we go out and do this," but like, do we actually trust that they'll, follow through with their end? Like, there's no insurance. They have insurance on us because, well, we have to come back. We have no insurance on them.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff up in the air. We just kind of have to choose a direction and follow that path. Like Solus says, like there's not much else we can do, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I'm happy with either way. That's not me trying to be difficult. I'm not just picking or deciding, but I'm happy with the group's decision.
So, okay, what do we know about the Queen?
You know that she is the undisputed leader of this city. Everything within the city is controlled tightly by her. The commerce, the law and order by the Scarlet Circle. She resides at the highest level of the city, the most undamaged, unblemished by time part of the city within the palace. You know that by reputation, her order, the Scarlet Circle, and by in a sense herself, respects just pure brute force strength. That's the kind of culture since her leadership's been in charge has prioritized within this place. And she set up this based on the conversations with Maximilo, Professor Branco. She kind of started this social change for a female, woman-focused lurch in society from what it was previously before. The power structures that existed before her don't matter now because she's in charge and she's setting up the social structures.
Interesting. So she's like brute strength, force and stuff like that. Is she gonna like us sneaking up to her and being like, "Hey, by the way, we want to barter with this map that we found"?
Yeah,
She definitely respects it, but someone doesn't just. It's a large part of why people respect the Queen, and yes, people obey her orders because of fear, but best you can tell, people here live a semi-productive, semi-safe life compared to that of out in the wastes. So, preserving that, giving her something, be a map, be information that explains that could jeopardize her power structure, her hold of the city, could be valuable to someone like that.
Have we heard anything of a court magician or any kind of wizardry or anything like that? Or is it just Scarheads and the Queen?
There's the Scarlet Circle, which is her cabal of druids and warriors, and that is her, that's everything. That's her power structure. That goes from the bottom rank of her scouts all the way up to her probably court advisors, if you could call it such a thing. Trying to think of anything else. I mean, the difficulty is you've got a language barrier, so there could be more you could find out, but you've got to ask around and stuff.
Well, we were warned to stay away from the circle.
Yeah. Just wonder how powerful the druids are and if they can do anything that would help us. But
another vague thing I want to point out is, like, when it comes to the six-fingered man, how in ties is she with him? Do you know what I mean? Maybe they don't like each other, but if they do like each other and they have like communication with each other as well, that, like, unfortunately, if that definitely was the six-fingered man that we spoke to previously, he did most of the speaking, but he knows what we look like. I think so. He was able to see us, right?
is he involved in that thing?
You don't know if she's involved in the city, but he definitely did a good look at you the same way you got a good look at him.
Yeah.
All right, let's choose. Let's make a choice.
If I have to choose,
I think I'm in the camp. I think I'm in the camp of doing something with the map. I feel like it'd be a waste to have found this map and then not utilized it, even in a sort of like gambit. And then if we do that within the next couple of hours, at least we'll know. There's always a possibility of
it's the plan A.
Yeah, depending on if we, because if we go back to the twins and we're like, actually, we don't want to go and get those things because that sounds like a lot of work. Here's a map outlining movements, troops, things. Then we probably don't have the fallback option of then going and doing the lava crawler thing. But I think that we'd probably be in a better position if we try and utilize that map to just get us transport home as soon as possible.
Yeah. Well, Tongues is going to run out, and we know even if Tongues run out, we can speak to them. We know they have the ability to converse with us at least. But my main point being, once Tongues runs out, we're kind of fucked if we want to try and find out other stuff. So I would say if we're going to do anything with the map, it'd probably be best to try and do something with the twins.
Yeah, I have the ability to cast another.
Oh, you do?
Like another hour of Tongues, but I'd be giving up my ability to contact
Eric
to do it. So
right.
I would only use that if I know that we're in like a position where we might actually get home straight away. Otherwise, I would want to save that so that I can be like, hey, I'm not going to make this.
Yeah.
Just while you guys are all discussing, there's a few things you see because of the height of the level you're currently on. The first thing you see is one side of the market which you have not accessed before. You see an open square with many hundreds of people in it. From the looks of it, it feels just as many large reptilian creatures as there is people. Some as large and as tall as manor house or outbuildings back in the Concord, with teeth as long as halfling arms hang out of their jaws. They look to be filled with hide tents, and the people around are creatures or races, species, I should say, of orc, strange raven-like bipeds, and large hulking lion men. And seem to be kind of, I don't want to say funneled or cordoned off, but they're definitely having an open space within the lower part of the market. And this is just something you passively notice while you're having this conversation. What does grab your attention, stuns you of your conversation, is you see a handful of people trying to climb up the rocky grey faces from this level to get to the fourth level. And you can see that there's a bone spike watchtower like carved in and around one of the spines itself. And over the course of a few seconds, you watch two scarlet circle sentries. They, from a distance around 300 feet away from you, they raise these long, thin tools to their shoulders. And you watch a dark green haze of light glow from the from the shoulders down to the tip of these items. And suddenly a large snap of light flows out from the edge of these contraptions to the group climbing up the cliffs, some 200 feet away. It sprays the climbing group in a haze of glowing green needles. Many are hit and lose their grip, falling some 80 feet to the ground below, their bodies broken. And those are the lucky ones. Others fall much, much further, shooting past the splits, past the market, into the depths of the lower city. And then the people that you can see, it's too distant for you to intervene. It's too distant and too wary for you guys to get stuck in. You watch as these strange contraptions are fired again and again as they pick off the survivors with accurate fire. And actually their bodies are pinned to the wall by the hail of needles, permanently binding their now corpses to the rocky walls. And that's what you see.
Did climbers, did they look did they look impoverished, or
they didn't bear any of the kind of tribal painting like tattoos of either side of the gem barons?
They've made their way up here from underneath us then, probably.
They look like poor sods trying to climb And maybe they just didn't realize what level they were on, and they climbed too high.
Jeez.
They got spotted by a watchtower.
I hate this city.
Yeah, this is not a nice place. I want to go home.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, let's make some moves before we get shot with big fucking green needles. It's like the Philadelphia fantasy world.
Yeah, okay, so I think everyone's happy enough to... Well, I think I spoke over Ryan when he was going to give his input on which way to go, actually. Sorry, Ryan.
Oh no, it's fine, dude. I agree with Torkel.
Okay. So do we do...
We don't, as horrible as the city looks, we don't know it's like... We don't know anything about this city well enough to make judgments on like the political stuff. I know it's obviously fucking horrible. I just gestured toward like, the fucking scene we just saw.
You watch like one of the bodies slide off a needle and fall like hundreds of feet into the darkness below.
Yeah. But also, I mean, we are capable and charming.
I think that's the nicest compliment you've ever given us.
You did say we. I'm going to hold you to that.
Well, unfortunately, because the city, you two are not going to be able to speak, and I'm not going to be able to speak, and Torkel's not really going to be able to speak and negotiate this, so...
Sophia butts in. I could do what I said earlier and nominate you as one of my slave speakers. I think that's what I said when I was in there.
I don't know if that works if you go high up, but maybe if it does, I'll play the part. But
if I feel like I'm floundering, I'll tag you in.
Okay.
So we want to go back in and talk to those weird tattoo siblings?
Right, do we do twins straight off the bat? Or do we look for more information?
Well, the twins, they might have been lying, but they're like, oh, we have the only magical user who can teleport you out of the city. So...
They could have been lying about everything. They could have been lying about that, and they could have been lying about holding up their end of the bargain or any kind of bargain, which kind of...
God, I know, man. It's so exhausting.
This place sucks.
This place sucks. We should burn it to the ground.
Yeah, we have to just decide, don't we? Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Let's just go.
Well, yeah. What if we did information? I mean, it'd take more time, but we could.
We'd have to use up tongues again, though. Oh, and then that gets rid of our safety net.
Language. Yeah.
This place sucks.
I mean, the reality is that anybody could be lying at any time, and none of them could have honored any of the bargains that they ever tell us.
Yeah.
But so we should kind of disregard that mostly because that's just an inherent, like there is a small percentage chance that that's going to happen in any event with anyone because this place is total ass and so are the people in it. So we kind of have to just take that as a given. Quickest way is to go to the twins and say we'd like to renegotiate. Then we would probably have to burn tongues or something else. And then we're gambling that we need to find the information about the other two, the other Baron or the Queen, in order to know what we're going to do in terms of Baron. So I have a foot in both camps. I think that the safer option is, even though we're wasting a resource not wasting, but even though we're using a resource for it, I think the safer option is to burn tongues again and go and ask around and try and find an alley or an avenue where we think it's safer to use this information bargaining. But we kind of need to be pretty tight on the questions we want to ask and the information we want to get.
Okay, so just for timeline, Sophia probably does have around, again, I'll say 40 minutes left of tongues. So it's still the current casting to meet with the twins. You met with the twins probably a wee while ago. You've got 40 minutes left. If you want her for, say, half an hour, what's left of tongues to do an investigation check to see what she could learn and disappear off, she could do that. One of you could give her advantage by assisting, or casting a spell on her, like enhance ability.
Yeah.
But then again, you do know that the leader, because you all can understand her, that twin, the female one, she cast tongues on herself as well, so you could all understand her. So she was able to. But that is the only caster you guys have ran into so far.
That's true, but we are probably just going to go to the twins unless we find something good. So we still have our safety net of you having your spell slot. If we don't find anything good, we can just go back to the twins and they can just speak with us without tongues. So okay. There's a fair few variables going on now, so it's reasonable for us to be undecisive. Like this is important, because if we don't do well at this, like we're cornered. We're in a shit place. Like I think that's a good plan. Yeah, send Sophia out with someone. Spend half an hour, and let's just do that, and then see where we get.
Sophia goes, wait. I can turn one of you into looking like a woman for an hour. Why don't I put that on Hendrik? Hendrik's really good at finding stuff out anyway. We all know this. And then Torkel casts tongues on him.
I can change my clothes too. I'm okay with it.
Okay, so I'll change you to look like a woman. That way people listen to you, Hendrik. All right, let's try and find a corner where people aren't looking, and let's do this.
So we're gonna go back into the twins?
No, I don't mean like. I think. Wait, do you guys want to?
No, that'd be extremely obvious. What am I saying?
No, the decision is that you and Sophia are going to try and find out information. That's just easier to do if you're a woman.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
So you're going to get tongues cast on you, and she's already got tongues cast on her, and it's going to take 40 minutes. Or you have to take 40 minutes to try and find out information that we need.
Okay, let's find the bar first.
Okay. You find a cliff-like precipice where people seem to consume heavy grain mixed with red ichor tinged, almost paint-smelling liquid. And
blood wine.
So blood wine. And let's get to this. So first of all, Sophia is going to cast alter image on you, Hendrik, and make you look like a battle-scarred local native of humanish origin. And then Torkel, I guess you cast tongues on him?
Yep.
Okay. So you have tongues cast on you, you can understand language, you can speak languages to these people. And Sophia, do you guys... So now there's two of you. Does one of you want to investigate specifically one gem baron, another one the queen? And then if so, which one which? Or do you also want to do a general check of what's going on in the city?
I'll go after the queen. You after Gem Baron.
She nods. All right.
I will cast enhance ability on myself.
Okay.
Concentration.
Wherever we are right now, can we just set this as a rally point for like 30 or 40 minutes? I'm going to run off and just do something non-dangerous, but I just want to make sure when I get back here, I'll probably only be 10 minutes that we're all going to be here. Is that okay?
Sophia nods. Yeah, sounds okay to me. Just don't fall off the edge of there. That's a long way down.
Oh, enhance ability lasts an hour. Yeah, this is fine.
Okay. So we're all agreed. I'll split up, try and find stuff about this golden gem baron guy that Branko told us about. And you ask about the queen, Hendrik?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. GM Cameron now speaking. Hendrik, why don't you give me a investigation check, please?
Sure thing.
You can use your charisma modifier. So whatever your proficiency is, investigation, but instead of using wisdom use charisma.
Wisdom or charisma.
Because you're doing all this through speaking. So just figure out that bonus for me, please.
Don't know how to roll one
That's
skill
fine.
with the ability of another.
I'll look in your character sheet. We can probably figure it out what the bonus is.
So just add a 5 to this.
Okay. So, all right, okay. So your investigation. Oh well, you got 19. So you got 5. So you'd just be adding a +7 instead of a +6. So yeah, you rolled a 25 anyway.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's a +2 actually, so it's a 26. Yeah, 26.
Yeah, correct. Because your expertise in it as well. Excellent. Okay. So that's your rule. I will rule for Sophia now to find out stuff about the Baron. Orly, tell me what you're trying to do.
I've actually only remembered we took an elevator up to where we are right now. I was going to go back down to the gnome, but I don't think that's plausible without spending more money.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, never mind then, it's all good.
Okay. We can talk to the gnome later when we come to arrest him. Once we're done with the other stuff.
You guys wait for a tenuous 40 to 50 minutes while Sophia comes back and Hendrik's still to return.
Are you guys like? Is it so that they can see me, like see this go on?
I imagine you have to like think of it like
it's like an open bar, right? Like an open air bar.
Yeah, but you've got the course of a couple of times, and what I'll say to this is, you feel like to follow some conversations, you gotta like not take people outside and talk to them, but just to eavesdrop a little bits of conversations that you feel are interesting, and then get talking to them on what you can. And you're complimented on your accent, like people are like, "Oh, I've never seen someone like you before in the city," and it's a successful check. It's a very successful check at 26.
We're gonna fucking do this. So my clothing. My armor, I can change however it looks. So before I go in, I turn it into something that looks more skin. I go, Hendrik is a fucking spy. He goes all in on this.
Yeah, totally.
So if what was it? Maybe not Torkel. Maybe Torkel can't see over the groups, over the crowds, but I think Thoric and Orly can. And after like 10 minutes, if they look around and they look for Hendrik, like Hendrik is fake laughing the shit out of this and like talking to people and schmoozing like a pro. He's having fun.
And you know, you're flirting or keeping company with a lot of people who are usually like women are much higher up the social status. So you're talking women, but also any man you talk to just crumbles because of, you know, the power that you have within the society. And you've very much learned, oh, the men, the idiots, yeah, I can basically get what I want out of them just talking to them. Okay. So
we call you Hendrisha now or something, or
Hendrita. Right.
So we're gonna, what I'll say, Hendrik, you can ask me 5 questions about the Queen. Second of all, Sophia comes back and she like kind of slumps up to the side of the overhang you guys are at. That was a dud. This is just before Hendrik gets back, by the way. Ah, damn it. People do not like this guy, I can tell you that much. I think he's cursed.
Henrietta. That's the name.
Henrietta.
She says, this guy, Neza, Monor, his whole skin's, well, what they don't like to trade with here. He looks like a living golden man, from what people talk about. He's bad luck. He was the gem baron that was working with the Hydra before they all got found out by the Queen. But he's still tolerated around here.
Okay. Still tolerated around here.
Something to do with the creature that grants wishes. Says he's on the good side of that.
Right.
Never heard something such absolutely ridiculous before in my life.
Okay, well, let's just say all of this is true, and there's something that grants wishes. That's the only reason why he's there. Otherwise, he'd be kicked out. Like you said, he was being tolerated. He probably feels a lack of respect and just being used because of whatever this thing is. Wish. If we were to go back and trade this map, he probably wouldn't. He'd probably use it not in the way that we think to hire his position. Yeah, I don't know. It seems this just seems a little bit more risky now.
I think, based on what we know about these barons, regardless which one we give them to, they're going to try and curry favor with the Queen. I don't think any of them, based on the people they have, they got a few skirmishers, a few swift hands, and tough barrel-chested, brawlers around. But what we just saw, whatever killed those people on the wall, doesn't look like they're openly trying to make a move against the Queen. Trying to get on our good books more likes from.
Well, if anything, his sister seems to be the one in control and the respected one. So at least there is a bit of a balance when it comes to this baron.
Yeah. Oh, Hendrik's back. And you walk in, Hendrik, and you've got a little bit left on your spell. You find a secluded spot, which is easy to do so in this kind of stretched out, concaved, open up, split section of the city that's been bisected in half. And Hendrik, do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
Does the Queen have anyone on retainer who is magically adept?
Yes, the Scarlet Circle are blood mages and druids, and they're capable of conjuring elementals and reshaping much of the rock and earth around the city. And that's actually how you learn. That's how a lot of the Scarlet Circle gets around. They don't use elevators. They literally shape the earth and move up and down through secret tunnels within the city. That they
commute via terraforming. That's crazy.
Cool.
And the Queen herself, though it has not been outright proven, is rumored to be a powerful sorceress in and of herself.
This is not a question. This is a question to the DM. That map we found, was there any like marking of make it obvious who made it?
I mean, you find it on some dead scouts outside the city.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we found it under a rock or something like that. I was gone for that section.
No.
Those scouts, were they men?
They were all men, yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that doesn't really answer specifically.
They were definitely foreign. They were not natives of City of Spines or Kalmarsha. They were too well armored and well prepared and provisioned.
Okay. What nations threaten this city currently? Like, what's the political vibe internationally?
Okay. From what people disseminate, because most people don't really leave the city, but the goings on are the Western tribals that there has been a tenuous alliance with for, when I say a tenuous non-hostility agreement, shall we say. They were still raiding and caravanning and killing of each other, but it was not large scale. They have started to move west and are ignoring the city, which is great for people. But it also was responsible for a lot of the meat and raw hide and creatures which were brought into the city. That's what they traded with the city. For water, for other, luxury goods, shall we say, quote unquote luxury goods. So that's a little bit of a loss to income and trade, and will cause probably difficulties in the next couple of years, but not immediately. Otherwise, the Queen will have to start to hire her own hunting parties to kill animals out in the wastes to bring back the city for building. To the east, the Queen granted the Free Horde solitude into an open square in the market, and they were the remnants of a vast cabal of warrior, distant, godly following folk, but not gods like what you recognize, like the gods of strange traditions.
Mm-hmm.
You've not really heard of them. They seem to be more like gods of an actual species rather than an ideal. And they were, for the past couple decades, had fought a meaningful guerrilla campaign against an Eastern empire, an Eastern expanding empire known as the Valeti Empire. And in the past year or so, they have lost much ground and have been pushed back and threaded and routed completely, paving the way for this Valletta Empire to, span more westward.
So they're like refugees, or is it just nomads that have no place?
They're nomads who have no place, but rumors go that they are lobbying the Queen to try and mount some counterattack against these interlopers, against these foreigners. They have great beasts and creatures of burden and power and riders capable of riding them into warfare, but feeding these creatures long term is going to be an issue. And there's kind of a debatable question of the Free Horde are a powerful military brute warrior strength. There's a couple hundred of them left. They're valuable as allies to the Queen. She's provided them shelter, but long term, how long are they really going to stay within the city? They're nomadics. They're not really. It's a question. People don't really know what the Queen's going to do with them, and they don't. Rumors go the Free Horde doesn't really know what's going to happen to them either, but they hope that they can persuade the Queen to at least take back some of their lands, or help them take back some of their lands.
That was a really good question, Ron, because now we can probably cross off the idea that the Queen has ties with the Six-Fingered Man, because if I remember correctly, these hordes that are moving west, they're the result of the Six-Fingered Man, aren't they?
Yeah. But then, I mean, I can speculate who the scouts are now.
The Valletta?
Did the Free Horde from the east, did any, who is it? Is it gonna be a question if I just ask for a little bit more information on something you said?
No problem.
Who is it they're fighting?
The Free Horde were fighting against the Valletta Empire, who were encroaching on their lands and had been for decades and decades.
Okay.
You rolled a 26. Yeah, they stopped getting materiel and supplies from the Concord, and that's why they lost. They were getting a lot of shipments of weaponry and supplies, even just grain supplies.
Oh, the Free Horde were?
The Free Horde were, fighting against the Valletta Empire.
Oh.
Up until recently, they were.
I didn't know there was such open trade out to the east with.
As far as you know, there is not. This is like something that you should have known about, but didn't. Rumors go that Great Shell Bay, which is a bay, couple days, 2 days, east of the city of Spines, was where the Great Horde really was held up, and they were waiting and waiting and waiting for months for another shipment of weapons and supplies from the Concord, and it never came. And there the Valletta broke them, and then they fled to the city of Spines. And since then, this bay.
What was the bay again? I'm taking notes.
It's called Great Shell Bay, and the actual port where they were waiting was called Promised Port.
That's ironic.
And this Great Horde has been in the city for maybe a month since they got beat back from Promised Port.
Okay.
Easy.
That makes the map even more interesting because it sounds like the spies are from the Valletta Empire. But if they're not even like, if there still has this whole horde between this city and the Valletta Empire, it might not be known that they're scouting out this place. So that makes the map actually usable, or actually valuable.
Yeah.
So that information's giving me a tinfoil hat now as well, to be honest. Because
I've asked two. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
You've asked two.
I've asked two questions. How many questions do I have?
You got a total of 5, so you've got 3 left.
5. That question really interested me. Can I just fish for information about the Concord here and like what's going on with the Concord? Because we've never heard of the supplies, and it's like, Oh, Concord's actually involved in this section? Like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, obviously, right. So let's go macro for a little bit of second, explain some context.
Love it.
The city of Spines is quote unquote civilized for Kalmarsha. The eastern lands where the great tribes were, the great horde, was quote unquote civilized. They had cities, they had laws, strange to you, but they had society. The land in between the slumbering bluff and the city of Spines was despotic, tyrannical, blood-filled caverns of tribals following the base instincts of dark, deep powers. And from that, the Concord, this is going back, decades, started a process of arming the Great Horde in the east of the city of Spines, but in between the borderlands between Valetti, to fight against the Valetti Empire. And it did so on the promise that the Valetti Empire, some time ago, had a civil war. Over 100 years ago, had a civil war. Where demons and devils fought over their capital. And the Concord, despite whatever the conclusion of civil war is, which people aren't really sure of, they vowed that they would not let a nation that it even came close to having the blood war, actual fall in the material plane, get any closer to the Concord. And even though that this great horde was clearly foreign, clearly different, did not believe in the Concord gods, a secret would be light, but a meaningful effort to arm the great horde in quantity from weapons was issued. You don't know where from, but it just started. It was literally like the Concord arrived at this bay at Promise Port. They built it and were like, okay, we're going to start trading with you guys. We don't really want anything in return. Just keep fighting the Bloody Empire for as long as you can. And something happened in the past year or so, and these supplies started to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle. And the Bloody Empire meaningfully stepped up incursions and attacks and pushed back the Great Horde to Promised Port. And as a month ago, they lost Promised Port to this Valetti expeditionary force, and they were pushed back. What was few in their number, maybe 400 or 500 of them left, plus their creatures, was retreated and refugeed into the city of Spines. People within the city of Spines, the Concord, they don't even care. It's a faraway, distant land with strange laws to their customs. It sounds almost too good to be true. Did you get all
So
that?
the city of Spines has no dealings with the Concord then, from what we can tell.
Not with the Concord, no. But this Great Horde had some kind of alliance with the Concord for a very little lack of anything in return, was arming them for a great period of time, for decades, to fight the Valettis.
Okay. As part of that question, has the Queen?
No, it's not Toxie.
Oh, he's Toxie's here.
Yeah, he's just listening in.
Cool. In if I stretch that question a little bit longer, is there any mention of the Queen and the Concord having like a positive relationship? Maybe.
The Concord doesn't have any diplomats in the city and never has, and probably never will. So no, you don't. There's not really any recognition there. I mean, it's clear that the Concord is a big, powerful. It is between Tierland and the Concord. They are the superpowers in the northern continent, and the city of Spines is a city-state in the middle of Badlands. If anything, the city-state is small fry compared to the Concord.
Yeah. This seems like kind of a godless place, anyways. Honestly. Okay, yeah. I got 2 more questions. What should I ask, guys? Should I ask about the personality of the Queen, maybe? to see if she's the type of person who'd be like thankful. And
if she has a
reward.
representative on this level that we can speak to,
That's a good question.
How we would actually contact
How do we
her,
get to it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Thank you, Sean. I'll ask if she has like a representative somewhere on this level, other than the gem guys who suck.
There's I want to say quote unquote the tunnels. People don't really know where they start and where they end. Trying to follow Scarlet Circle into the tunnels is like asking for fucking trouble. Either you're never seen from again, or you end up a few days later hung from a rope hundreds of feet tall with your corpse being slowly lowered and lowered and lowered into the lowest part of the city. So that's not an option. But there are some elevators, some actual elevators, the same that you've used, that access the 4th level of the city. And to gain access to those elevators, you either need to make a very persuasive argument of why you should, and Queen's business, or you have something to offer the Queen. She will happily take supplicants giving things to her.
Brilliant question.
You said Queen's on 4th level, right?
The Queen's on the 5th. Her actual so her palace is on the 5th level, but her Scarlet Circle and her private army and like her whole personnel force are on the 4th. So she has a whole army in between her and the rest of the city.
We're on the 2nd or the 3rd level?
3rd currently, where the Gem Barons are.
Ooh, okay, that was a really good question.
Okay, we've go up one level. It makes sense. The Scarlet Circle, they seem pretty important. Any other questions, you guys?
Ron, I think what you were saying, like her personality and maybe like her species and stuff like that. We could get some insight into, because it's plausible that we could actually gain an audience with the Queen directly if we were smart enough with who we present that map to. Like, say we approach one of the elevators. Do you know what I mean? So like if we have a direct audience with the Queen, a little bit of insight into her personality, like you were saying, and just something so that we're on the same page, or get on the good books with how we approach and present ourselves.
Have any other ideas? Brainstorm.
This is all very complicated.
Okay. I think asking about her demeanor and personality and stuff isn't a bad idea, to be honest.
Sure, I'll ask about her personality and like times that she's had audiences beheaded for insolence and that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Queen's personality. The Queen is semi-recluse. She keeps a tight inner circle within her palace, but she does make frequent displays of going out to the yard where her army performs and has martial training, and sometimes she fights them herself, and no one has ever, within her ranks, been able to beat her in combat, in one-on-one combat, even 10-on-1. She's a renowned fearsome warrior. She is pious to a distant, far-off god, which you've heard goddess you've heard murmurings of since you've had some of these conversations, and you recognize that, this is why this goddess mentioned a few times. She is an ardent follower of the orc goddess Luthik, and she herself is an orc, a female orc.
Now we've got to go see her.
What's that?
Now we've got to go and see who it is.
Yeah. And she will entertain guests. Rumors go that she has you rolled a 26. Best you can tell, she is currently entertaining a foreign inventor arms dealer in the 4th level of the city.
Oh.
Oh god.
And when you hear the name, you're like, oh, their nickname or their title is the Panther.
Okay.
They're a famous Northern Continental famous arms dealer named the Panther, and she is currently has him as invited guest within her city.
Okay. Okay, that my questions are spent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, after half an hour of
Filling
this,
everyone in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll head back to the party, and yeah, we go to alleyway or something like that together.
Yeah, and you just like, and
then
you tell them all everything. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Yeah, what are you doing now?
the queen will have some way to. I mean, I think telling the queen about this is viable and viable. I don't know if she has a way for us to get home, but or
If she's
honestly,
a
I don't
sorcerer
know.
and she has like a cabal of sorcerers, druids, then there's a
Yeah,
good chance, right?
but they
But
seem
also,
more like building towers out of corpses, sort of wizards, not like.
you never know.
We'll
If
see.
there's enough of them, one of them will have.
Yeah. Hopefully the map is worth that much in value. I think it's valuable. I don't know if it's that valuable. Well, if we catch her on a good day, basically. But she's up on the 4th level. We might be able to negotiate with the elevator rider or elevator operator fellows that we have something of extreme value to the queen.
If there is one. Was there one when we took the elevator up here? Was there guards at it?
Yep.
There would be.
Yeah.
You can find one either on the 3rd, or somewhere on this 3rd level. You could find one. It'd be pretty hard to miss because it'd be guarded by the Scarlet Circle.
Oh, that's even better and worse.
We should hide the map on us though, because we don't want them to just be like, take it from us. If we have something valuable for the queen, they just be like, okay, great, yeah, I'll take that to the queen, and I'll get the reward. So we have to hide this on us somewhere to make it not so obvious. Maybe don't tell them directly what it is that we have. But basically, I'm just telling people to play it smooth. Don't give up a bunch of information.
That's true. One of you guys could hide it on your person. I could maybe stand away when you approach. You could tell them that we have the map, but somebody else is holding it. And then if I could walk up, and if they try to frisk me, at least we know then. And I don't have the map, so they won't get it. And I don't know. I'm just spitballing now at this point.
I mean, yeah, we're going to have to approach the elevator at some point, right?
If you want to try and speak with the Queen's representatives from the Scarlet Circle.
The spell's gone out, isn't it?
Tongues and all that stuff is pretty much used for all the skill checks. Yeah.
Maybe we just
and Hendrik.
Don't bring up the map specifically, guys. We just say we have information about Vivaldi Empire.
Well, we know the name, the Valetti now, so we can.
Yeah, Valetti.
Even uttering that name would probably hold kind of some form of respect in a way. It's probably like
less so respect,
especially
probably
how
import.
We look. Sorry.
Less so respect, probably more import. Like
yeah.
It's we have something that's important to them, and I mean, is there a threat of spies that we could leverage to make sure that we have to be the ones to bring it up?
I mean, we could just make that up.
Yeah. The idea that we need to bring it directly to you because we're afraid of spies intercepting or whatever.
Do we leverage that we're from the Concord and that we are representatives from the Concord, in that both the Concord and this place seem to be against the Valetti Empire? And we know that there's that's not lying. I'm a government official.
They never lie.
And that why lie when you need to tell the truth? Concord and this place both dislike the Valetti Empire. The Valetti Empire is a threat. And if we come as government representatives, we're less likely to be beat up by the police and have our shit taken. And as far as we know, as far as I was able to find out, there's no particular bad blood between this place and the Concord.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think if we what's the term? Wrap ourselves in purple.
Yeah.
It'll protect us more so.
Yeah. I mean, you could so purple, that kind of dark burgundy is definitely a color of the Valeti Empire, based on the scouts and all that stuff as well.
Yeah,
it's
from the Byzantine Empire or whatever.
Okay.
The diplomats, when they'd go visit a place, they would wear
today.
They'd wear the purple clothing of Byzantium. Everyone know, don't fuck with them because their empire can destroy entire culture.
Yeah, I mean,
so no one would touch them.
Coming in as we're acting as functionaries, diplomats to warn you of an impending danger. That's a meaningful gamble.
Yeah,
high stakes, but it might get you in
it'll at the very least it'll be enough to give the guards pause before they, try anything.
And we literally had eyes on what we now believe were Valeti scouts, and they were heading in the direction of the city of the Spines, where, I mean, we might not say we have the map just yet, but that's,
Yeah. Out of character, DM, I'm having such a difficult time remembering. Is the girl's name the team member that we have with us? Her name is Sophia.
Sophia Neves. Yeah.
Sophia. Okay, good. Thank you. I just keep forgetting, man. Okay, well, in that case, maybe we should let Sophia. We'll give Sophia a try. With my enhancement lasts an hour. That should be enough. I feel like if we're talking to the Queen, and the Queen's the one who set up the whole gender rules, that we shouldn't go in and flaunt against it as a foreign diplomat. It makes more sense for when in Rome. So we'll have Sophia try and start off, and just say, we're from the Concord. This is a mission of peace and friendship. We have information. On the way over here, we have information from of Valeti Empire scouting out this city. We've picked up this map from corpses. Should we say corpses? Yeah, we probably should just be clear about the corpses thing, right?
I mean, if we say, I'm sorry, I actually wasn't there for the session. Did we fight them or did we find them dead?
Which corpses are you referring to?
The one the map that was found on.
So all those corpses seem to be they were killed by the Mantis men. That guy went to salvage the map. He had his head blown up by one of their casters, and then Lernok went over and took the satchel from his dead body.
I can't believe I missed the Mantis men.
Yeah.
Damn it. And that the Valeti Empire is scouting out this city in particular. Here's a map evidence from the corpses that we found from them.
Yeah, I hate to be a downer.
Does anyone else have any input?
How's she gonna convey all of this verbally?
With tongues.
We don't got tongues till tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she does have a court of wizards, but maybe it would be rude to go into a place and be like, "You, Queen,
do you speak immune here?"
Yeah. Yeah.
You do know the twins. One of them cast tongues, so you could go and speak to her.
We have nothing to offer.
I mean, there's also comprehend languages, which is only written, but I mean, we can understand what they write. I know it's the same thing of seeing if they have a spell that they can cast, understand us, but it's less costly. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm almost certain that. Well, we have to talk to the guards, though. The guards aren't going to understand us.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we have to wait.
We still have some.
There was some enslaved translator at the front gate, if you do remember. So they could have.
Yeah, we can't go get her.
Oh yeah, but
Unless
can
the
we make a
guards-
pass?
Yeah.
We could just have a little walkabout and see if there's any other slave translators hanging.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, especially since it's like the financial district. This district's better off. Maybe they do have a.
Yeah.
Let's go scout out the elevator together
Okay.
and see what's there and what to expect and all that shit.
All right.
Yeah.
You walk over towards the corner where you see less and less of both Jerem Barons as gangs, and you start to see strange malmutations and bulbousness in rock where buildings have like fallen into each other and created these like semi-rigid hallways that have been repurposed stone and molded stone and earth into like hallways through where once were windows and once were doors and tunnels. You see leading up one of these new-made bridges, shall we say, the starting point of one of the elevators, which is protected by two kind of blood red, tan-hided, wearing warriors with one of them is wearing one on their head. One of them has this cheetah like skin face with big raptor or felinid underbite and overbite tusks or long fangs on it. Another one has this kind of carved out, huge, twisted, four-horned ram head as a headpiece atop their scalp with the kind of blood red circle around it, and seem to be sitting there. Why don't you guys give me a perception check? All you guys give me a perception check, please. Wow, 25.
I love playing an elf, guys. It's the best. I'm exceptional at everything. I'm handsome. I'm charismatic.
Okay. So Hendrik, you spot this. There is a third figure chained to the wall, like have only maybe a couple feet of distance from the wall, and they're in a sitting position. They look to be not a tiefling, in fact, but a dwarf who is like bedraggled, long, mangy hair on their beard, their eyebrows, their mustache, and they're just wearing basically like slave garb, like just cloth to cover their privacy, and that's it. And they're crouching down, seem to be like smashing some bone together and like sucking out marrow to get some sustenance.
That could be us if we're not careful.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do we want to just give this a go ahead and try this out, guys? Or you want to wait till tomorrow we have speak languages?
We can just try it, right?
Yeah.
What have we got to lose? They say, "Oh no, you can't come in here," or they beat us to death and take the map off us. Whatever.
Listen, if they start beating us, hands are going to start flying back. Okay, let's go. I guess I'll take the lead because it's just the guards. And then we actually like talk officially. Sophia, you're going to be taking the lead. If that's okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I kind of am because the whole gender thing here.
I suppose we could say you're acting as. But if we plead the case of you being diplomats, then that really won't need to fly anymore, will it?
True.
Because we're foreigners, proper foreigners.
Yeah, but we can't
Yeah, I
speak
don't know.
tongue yet, so we don't have that
Sometimes-
advantage yet.
When you visit another people, either A, they get angry when you don't follow their rules, or B, they understand that you're foreigner and it's reasonable you don't follow their rules. We don't know which one the queen is.
Yeah,
A diplomatic envoy being sent by another empire would probably come here with the ability to have a female speak their language.
Yeah.
That would be like a massive oversight for a real diplomatic
Yeah,
envoy.
we're already
You
kind
don't send the people who can't speak Russian to Russia. That's not the way that usually works.
Yeah, no. You know what? Torque was 100% correct. I think that if we're going to do this, we do it right. We wait till tomorrow. We rest up and we get tongues and we can come in and not only be diplomats, but look like diplomats and talk like diplomats.
I agree.
But the whole reason that we're doing this is because we don't want to wait that long.
Yeah.
No, the reason we're doing this is so that we don't die fighting. 1 second. lava crawlers.
No, that's not the reason I'm doing it.
Okay, Torko, what do you want me to do?
I think we should just try it. I'm just saying maybe we don't do too much talking about being diplomats until we're in the hall.
We can
That might
go
be
in
what gets us
understated.
That
Yeah.
might be what gets us up there, though. I mean, the whole point of the diplomat thing is that we get there unaccosted.
I mean, there's,
You don't have to
well,
say
I think
diplomat. You can just say representative, I guess.
I think the idea is to what degree how loud we are about it. Do we say it sort of quietly to the people who only need to know, or do we sort of go in and make it obvious to everyone that we're clearly?
There's
If
no
it's
bad blood.
just a ploy to get past the guards, then that's fair.
Well,
You're
also,
not exactly going to know
yeah,
much.
yeah, okay. I hate this. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, Sophia, sorry, you're gonna be the one talking to the queen. If it doesn't work out, you can pass on to me, and I'll give it a shot. As for getting past the guards, I can do the talking if you want, or we can do one of the.
If that dwarf over there can understand us, I'll do the talking.
Probably for the best.
We got Torkel. Surely the dwarf speaks Dwarvish.
I don't know where the dwarf is from.
Yeah, is it different dialects? I don't know Dwarvish, so I don't.
He could have been born in a city where there aren't like a lot of dwarves, and he just never learned Dwarvish.
That's a sad idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
It's a sad
okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead. Sophia, if you don't want to talk to the elevator guy, I can take the lead from here. But when you go to the queen, you have to take the lead.
What we learn, this place values strength. I think I just got to be strong about this.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, and I'll talk to the elevator people. And I will step
Walk up
forward
the bridge. Yeah,
towards
keep walking up.
towards the bridge until the guards.
Yeah, about 15
tell me to
feet.
stop.
And
Yep.
one of them with his single spear just taps it. And Hendrik, with your blind sight, you feel two invisible creatures manifest
Oh, I
immediately
stopped.
beside him. And he barks a guttural command and kind of points the spear, not directly at you, but tips it towards you for you to basically halt. There's two invisible creatures of these elemental forms are summoned right beside him. Beside her, sorry.
Cool. So that explains kind of where the djinns are coming from, their official thing. Okay, sounds good. I will say out in language, Concordese.
Yeah.
Just some stop because he probably doesn't fucking know it, but just like, hello, I am Hendrik, representative of the Concord. And I wait for some sort of response. I look at the slave and see if the slave is paying attention.
Yeah. The one with ram horns, one who tapped the spear, looks over towards, and the dwarf kind of stands up, puts the bone he was sucking on the ground, and kind of walks over. His hands are heavy calloused. He's missing a few fingernails as well. And he walks over, and he kind of gets a meaningful distance away from the guard. And he speaks in kind of a broken Southern Immune in response to you. And this is a transport spot for Scarlet Circle. It is not simple travel way for common folk. You understand?
Yes, I am not common folk. How do I get up there?
It kind of it speaks, relaying all this. She barks back a command order at him, and he chagrins. Not chagrins. He kind of scowls and looks a bit horrified. Besapok says that to enter is either under request of the great queen of sinew and flesh, or you have supplication to offer her. Do you have bones and skin and eyes willing to part?
No, I have information far more valuable than that.
Relays that. Guards barks back command. What knowledge could be useful from foreigners to the Great Queen?
I have knowledge of the Valeti Empire.
Relays that. Guard looks over to the cheetah-faced one and looks back. Expand further. We need clarification of this knowledge you speak.
I have military information of the Valeti Empire directly related to this city.
Make a persuasion check for me, please.
Absolutely.
I like them.
Persuasion is +5. I could cast the spell, but then I'd have to do it secretly to not freak out. Cards, can I do that? I can't do that. I'm gonna just persuade them.
Okay. Ooh, 21.
I didn't need it. Because what the fuck, man? Hedrick rolls better than any character I've ever played.
Yeah, you said it.
The horned one barks a command to him. Is all of yours necessary to give information, or just one?
We're gonna
2.
have to gamble this.
I need 2. Me and one other.
Pick one.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Sophia.
Okay. All right. You wait a moment. The elevator comes clicking down. The stone breaks, the stone bluffs, as it arrives with an armed escort of Scarlet Circle warriors. But all of you see that these ones are not holding simple bone hatchets and spears. They have these strange, long, utensiled items strung over their shoulders, and one of them is carrying a upturned, U-bended pipe-like instrument in their hand, and gestures for you to get on the elevator.
Okay, get in the elevator.
Sophia, the party watches as Sophia and Hendrik. Oh, she tosses you the bag of her weapons to Thoric before she goes.
Okay.
Because that would probably be smart for her to not take her weapons with you.
Yeah.
And any last words before you leave to your party, Hendrik?
We'll be right back.
Hendrik,
I love you. I know.
nice hat.
I know.
I know.
The elevator jewels deposited in the center, and these 4 armed with strange weapons rise up with you. And then as they go up, the dwarf gestures to the rest of you. You may sit and wait for their return.
All right. Oh,
Hendrik.
what's this? Oh, you forgot the map.
Oh wait, shit. Sorry, that was incredibly stupid. Can we go back and have the map?
Sure, you can have the map.
I think Sophia would have the map, honestly.
Sophia would probably have the map, yeah.
Oh, but it'd be really funny to make you play it out, get in there, and
Oh, wait 1 second, I got it back.
Oh, shit, sorry, I left it.
You have Thoric's child drawing version of the map.
Yeah. All right. You go up 80, 100, 150, 300 feet up to basically a huge marshalling yard, surrounded with dozens and dozens and dozens of people fighting with axes and strange, malformed, great sword-like weapons. They seem to be in the throes of proper, serious military drill instruction. There are bark commands of readiness, these aren't training weapons. People are getting cut. People are getting hurt. People are taking blows and get the wind knocked out of them. This is one-to-one combat, sometimes group-on combat, where you can see that some people do get injured. And as someone gets injured, one of these Scarlet Circle runs over and hastily casts some kind of strange incantation, and their fingers reattach, or their throat from where it's slashed open seals back over. As they seem to be medics, shall we say, healing people who would certainly die from these wounds or be left appendageless in places. As you arrive, you feel a soft click and this strange pipe instrument is pointed at the back of your head, Hendrik, and you feel like a push forward, like walk.
Okay.
You walk, and one of them is to the left, one's to the right of you, and Sophia whispers to you, "Well, we're up here. Let's see what happens."
You don't need to whisper; they can't understand. Sophia, if we're gonna do this, we have to have confidence. If you can have confidence, then I want you to take the lead. If you can't do this with confidence, I'll take the lead.
I can do it.
Good. And I will pat her on the back, casting Enhance Ability with her. It lasts an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I will do it with the hidden things the guards will see.
She gives you a look, a knowing look of like, "Oh, I see what you did there. Good idea. Good idea." You're led through this marshalling yard. You go a distance before you walk past a certain like walled off section, and you actually see about a line of eight women lined up with these strange weapons held to their shoulders, firing sprays of green like solid needles from these accelerator beams, peppering stone. And you see that on the stone is a whole line of like plate and shields and metal and iron armor as the needles just fire through them like they're going a hot knife through the butter and just coating them, piercing through. And you hear like this kind of guttural command, and it seems like they all have to refresh or reapply something to these items, and then they stand ready to fire in a volley at once. You're led then to a small alcove that goes on for around 30 feet, and you see this balcony where it overlooks three volcanoes in distance. It is a huge overhang over a steer drop of around 1,000 feet into the city below, the darkness. And there, sitting on a chair made out of flayed skin and bone, is a woman reclining, while a man stands to her side, and they're clearly having an intent conversation. And you recognize the small inklings of language, Hendrik, of your ancestral homeland language, shall we say, of Elvish being spoke. And you're at the precipice. You're not at the precipice. You're not in this chamber yet. As one of the people guiding you, the one that put that implement to the back of her head, walks in, clearly looks to apologize, to interrupt, as the man nods and gives a very stern, respectful bow to her, and then goes to walk past you, as you see a man in dark greenish leather robe, and he has a cape, which you think was a cape draped over him, but in fact is the solid flayed skin cloak and fur of a displacer beast over his shoulder, with the two tendrils like draped over his front collars. And he has this kind of buzz cut look to him. He has a scar over the right side of his eye, and his hair is like peppered, black and white peppered at the top, a buzz cut, and he has pointed ears, and he is high elven, clearly high elven. And he goes to walk past you and gives you a cursory glance, and you recognize him as the stories tell as the Panther, the weapons dealer. Do you say anything?
I say nothing to him. I have nothing to say to him.
Yeah. walks past you, gives you a look, but doesn't see anything as notable.
Tip my hat.
Yeah. He gives you a nod. Make an insight check for me, please.
Yes, sir. Insight. 26.
He knows who you are.
What the fuck?
He has looked at you, and there's clearly something about you, and he knows something or who or what. But there's a clear look of recognition of something about you. You don't know if it's your face, the necklace that you wear, anything, but he clearly knows something about who you are or anything.
So the guards are escorting me and Sophia down a hallway, and this
And
guy's walking freely without guards the opposite way down the hallway.
He does have an armed escort. He does have one following him the same time.
I'm not gonna push this. I continue on the way.
Okay. Yeah. Sophia looks at you what was that about? As you're just waiting to be gained entrance to this balcony, this ledge, shall we say?
I just shrug. I have no idea.
There's a barked command as you're kind of pressed forward as you see the woman stand up from the chair. She is around 7 feet tall, a long, almost veil wedding dress, which is made out of scales, which gives a pattern like that of a huge maw that's about 12 feet long, drapes at her back. She has bone bracers which have been fastened and etched with scrimshaw all the way through, and they glow with dark red runes. Her face is despite the regal nature of what you expect a queen, she has a bloody nose, a black eye, and one of her bottom tusks as an orc is snapped off. Her chest portion of her body is got this strange lattice work hide, which seems to be self-knitting itself after some damage, and you actually see her skin slowly knit over a wound as well. She holds a hand over herself, seems to be ready for her appearance, healing whatever injury she had. Her legs down to her knees are this almost web design, and you realize it's not actually clothes. That's ritualistic scarring all the way down her legs to her calves.
God damn.
And she wears a low a skirt which exposes her legs and her feet. She's bare feet, barefoot, and she turns and looks at the two of you and looks towards the ledge, and she speaks in a language which you understand, but you recognize as telltale signs of tongues being cast. This ledge will be your end if your time wasting is not adequately explained. As you're pushed forward and both of you are forced to kneel in front of her.
Oh, I kneel freely. It's not, maybe forced.
Okay. Yeah, Sophie. Okay. So you do that. She doesn't nod. Her eyes are cold like that of a falcon stalking a bird high above. And she looks. I am told you have some knowledge of Valetti malfeasance.
Who's she looking at when she's saying this? Is she looking at me or is she looking at Sophie?
Both of you. Just looking between the two of you.
Okay. I'll leave it in the hands of Sophia.
She nods and goes to speak, and she clears her throat. And that's where we're going to take a 10-minute break there.
Should I feel bad about making the DM talk to the DM?
Absolutely not. This is just content, and I'm all
I mean,
for
if you
it.
didn't put us in a city where women, and then none of us are women. I mean, I wouldn't have. But by the rules he set, I'm just like, well, I guess I within the world, I should shut the hell up.
You're using the DM's city of spines against the DM.
I'm not using it against him, but I'm just abiding by the rules. But I feel bad about it.
It's the right move to have.
It is.
I mean, it's like gender-wise, it's the right move.
God, man, there was a Constantinople got a diplomatic visit from the Holy Roman Empire 1,000 years ago, and they were just a piece of shit to him. They were such bad hosts. It's still like it's like a thing in history. Like they made him wait months before they gave him an audience, and they basically like only let him meet minor officials of the government. And then when he tried to leave, they instated a law where foreigners cannot export silk or like export cloth or whatever. Like it was like silk, and the diplomat was wearing silk, so the guards stripped him of all his clothing and sent him on his way bare ass naked.
And he still converted in the end.
Oh no, that wasn't conversion. It was like the Holy Empire, like, "Hello, fellow Roman Empire." And the Byzantiums like, "You guys are 20 years old. Go fuck yourself." We've been around for 1,000 years. Oh shit.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna get food.
With this kind of like semi worried expression, she masks away very quick. Sophia looks up from kneeling to the Queen and starts to speak. Queen of Blood and Bone, we have traveled to you and your city in hopes of finding a way out of here. We are foreigners of these lands, but in our travels we have found some information, some news, some knowledge that we feel would be useful to you. And we only ask, in divulging it to you, that you provide us some of your great power to me and my party that I travel with, that you may be able to help us leave the city. We have many great responsibilities in our homeland, and people's lives are resting on our ability to be there. And she pauses and freezes for a second. And the Queen looks at her. Child, what is your name? Sophia, Your Majesty. Queen looks at Hendrik. And yours?
Hendrik.
I always find it strange, your people's customs. You speak one name as if it is the only thing that identifies you. Here in our lands, names mean a great deal. Turns, looks over the view towards the three volcanoes in the distance, bubbling and crackling and belching black and grey soot. Even a few flashes of light in the distance of lightning clouds forming over the furthest one. I had explained to me that there were some clear foreigners who entered in the gate. The need of the translator is so hardly needed nowadays. You've done well to evade most eyes. I see you had spoken with the twins. What did they want from you?
They wanted us to hunt monsters.
A simple enough request. Was their reward not sufficient for you to hunt these creatures for them?
Shit, I just realized that I spoke. I should have shut the fuck up and let Sophia talk. God damn it.
Turns around.
I'm gonna look for Sophia see if she wants to say anything. If not, then I'll take over.
Sophia goes, my compatriot is right. We are on a strict time scale, as I said, with great responsibilities, and we were worried leaving the safety of your city would ham us up in such time that we'd be unavailable to get back to where we need to be. She walks over and crouches down right next to Sophia's face. And where is it you need to be? Sophia We are acting as defenders and appointed warriors against agents foreign and hostile to our culture and our gods. The City of Spines is not that, and as far as I can tell, our cultures, our peoples, have never been at war with one another, and our attendance today isn't going to change that, positively or negatively. We are lost travelers in a foreign land, and we bequeath the Queen of Her Majesty and her power in return for some information which we feel would be very useful to her for her protecting her own peoples and her own safety. You could perhaps grant powers of teleportation to us to leave. And she stands. This was quite interesting. I didn't expect foreigners to come in and ask so much of me. And she snaps her fingers, and the two of you are pulled to your feet, and you're dragged over towards the edge. Do you do anything?
Nope.
She gestures, out spanning a hand. She's got these long claws, which she didn't really catch because they're under her huge cloak, and her fingernails like a good 6 or 7 inches long. And she gestures. What do you see when you look out and see this mess, this debris, these badlands, the monsters that occupy them? Your Majesty, I see a land that has been conquered and tamed by you. You have made a home here, a society, looks towards Hendrik. And you?
I would ask for a second because I'm still waking up in real life.
Okay. Sophia, I thought it was customary for women to just speak. Good observation. And then she keeps looking towards the distance and asks a question to the two of you. If we're imparting knowledge and sharing it, still dangling by a good 3 or 4 inches off the actual threshold of the ledge, or being pushed towards it with our grabbing the back of your cloaks really hard, ready for a push or a pull back. What does the Concord
see?
What?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead. Yeah.
No, you speak.
No.
You speak.
Okay, I see a land where the strong eat the weak. And who is grabbing me right now, DM?
A guard behind you.
I would like to cast something, but I won't until it's absolutely necessary.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. You have a held action. Sophia definitely has a held action in case she tries to get thrown. And I see a cage. Looks pointedly and raises a finger at each volcano, the 3 of them, and gestures towards the 2 which you can't see on either end of the chain. If we wanted to ever leave this place, we are choked by the winds and the rain and the clouds above us. You flatter me with declarations that I have made this a home. Instead, this is a tomb. For many people, and will still be so. I am its owner, its facilitator, and I keep it moving along. I think you would understand. Your society places great effort and understanding to the needs of the dead. I am trying to keep this place alive, and doing so very well. But you come with me information that might be at risk. Sits down in a lounge chair, made out of flesh. Make your point, either one of you, and be quick about it. And you're kind of pulled a couple inches close to the edge. Sophia looks. We have some kind of scouting map from foreigners. We believe the Valley Empire of them making patrols and scouting rounds around the city. we don't know if they are designed to ever get back to you or this is trade routes, but thanks to this man here, Hendrik, he deduced that this is clearly a military campaign. The designs of the map, the cartography of it, clearly shows a military angle. The Vleri, we don't believe, wants to trade with you. They want to smite you down or colonize you or something that they did to the same thing as that great horde, those refugees in the market below. Queen nods. And do you have these maps on you? Yes, Your Majesty. Gives a look towards the guards. And she gives a nod to the one holding Sophia, and he pulls her back and releases his grasp. Present them. Sophia reaches into the satchel and hands over the map. Still kind of like bowing and respectfully to her. And the Queen takes it in one hand. The claw is kind of scraping on the leather hide of it. And she sets it down. I'll have these studied. Now, leaves the question of what to do with you in the interim, so we can verify this information. Tense, thick fear hangs in the air between the two of you. What does he mean to you? Looks towards Hendrik. To Sophia. He saved my life once. Queen takes that information in. And would you do the same for him? She nods. Well, there is something I do need that you would be aptly able to function as. Sophia. I need someone who understands the Concord. Someone who I can trust. And things seems the only thing you can offer me right now is your trust. Until this map can be verified, I will consider the option of having your friends relocated. It may take a couple hours. But I would like you to stay with me. Oh, that's very flattering, Your Majesty, but I don't remember asking you what you thought of this decision. No, of course not. Do you have any family to notified? No, Your Majesty. Then it's even easier for you to stay here. You will see this place for the cage it is, and you will understand how to break free of all the cages set before you. This is a lesson I teach the circle. I see great promise in you. Your boldness to come here and try and present yourself in front of a queen. Your nerves tick at you, but you still keep your mind fresh and on task. Pull him back, and the guard pulls you back, Hendrik. There are other ones down at the bottom of the elevator. Looks towards the guard. And the guard seems to understand, she's speaking tongues, and you understand what she says, and he nods. Bring them up as well. They deserve to say good farewell to this woman. And Sophia looks a little bit surprised, looks at Hendrik. And the little document that she had, the little satchel, the Queen handed off to an aide, some kind of strange-looking, hunched-over, rag-wearing woman with scars all over her face. And she says something in a language you can't understand. And she points to the guards and to the two of you. You'll see your party, your traveling companions. And from there, should this information be true, I'll have you whisked away to where you need to be. I respect bravery in difficult situations more than anything. I think you saw the top of the food chain when you witnessed the twins, and you came to see the predator. Be off, and both Sophia and Hendrik are pulled out of this tunnel, away from the ledge. The Queen reclines in the chair again, and the two of you are presented towards a marshalling yard, and the four of you, the other party members, are ordered on a lift by the dwarf. You're lifted up, and you see the same marshalling yard, the same thing of troops preparing and warring. And then Sophia, Hendrik, and the four of you are brought together under watchful guard of around 12 of them with these strange weapons. And Sophia looks at Hendrik. I don't know if that's the best thing that could have happened, but it feels like it.
That feels like the best thing that could have happened?
Well,
Gee.
you're getting... I don't know if you looked into her eyes, but she had no problem with throwing both of us off that ledge.
She's not the first person I've met like that. This feels like the worst thing that could have happened. We can't have you becoming a slave. That's not acceptable.
Hendrik. These people, this queen, like leans in, they clearly have something either Concord doesn't want to get involved in, or does. The Great Horde supporting them. You know how good I am at finding stuff out. I can reach out to you. I'm sure I can find stuff out and get information to you. At the minute, I'm just a tag along. I have not been making my own decisions for myself for the past 2 weeks.
You're not making the decision to become a slave. That's not how independence works.
I don't think I'm being a slave. I think I'm offered a chance to join something. But when she was telling me these things, usually I have a gut instinct. When stuff's a bad idea, I have that all my life. But when I thought about turning and running, I felt Vela's presence telling me to relax.
I can't argue against that, even though I really want to.
I wanted to argue against my goddess too, but she told me to accept. I'm sure I'll find out a lot of things about this place. I'll do what I can to keep you guys involved.
You want us to come get you afterwards?
I think if I can make a meaningful reputation here, I might be able to get my own way out of this place.
This city's made of meat. There are people eating each other down below. You want to become part of this place?
I think I'm staying on the top levels where we don't have to eat each other.
Are we all gathered?
Yeah, you're all there. You're here.
Okay, this is outside. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought this was us leaving. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
No,
okay.
This is like you guys joined, and Sophia immediately starts talking to Hendrik, and you guys like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah, like, sorry, what's going on? You're agreeing to be a slave?
The Queen likes something about me, and she wants me to stay. But she said if the maps that we gave over seem to be verified, she'll send you guys wherever you want to go. But I have to stay. And I just said to Hendrik that Vela told me I need to stay for something.
It doesn't sound like you're becoming a slave. It sounds like the Queen might be wanting to, like, I don't know, train you or something?
I don't know about train. I mean, I don't know what power she has, but I felt a bit out of my depth in front of a woman like that. I don't know about you, Hendrik. I don't know if I could take her or not. Even a one-on-one.
Hey, DM.
Yeah?
Can I insight check, Sophia?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same thing. Can I insights?
Sorry, where are we?
Oh, it's really strange. She's really flustered all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on.
23. Orly, Sophia is clearly like has had like some kind of message, divine message, and like she's like a zealotry following. She feels that this is the best choice for her. Hendrik, that echoes again, but there's a slight tinge of, could the gods be wrong on this? Because she's seen everything you guys have seen, and there's clearly an element of like, what am I getting into if I stay here? Clearly, I need to be here, but like, what does that mean for me? What does it mean for me to be for a woman who wears a cape 12 feet long and scales with a massive maw decked out in scales in the back of it and flesh tattoos on her? What does that mean for me?
Okay, well, this is what we're gonna do, Sophia. We got a couple hours. You can think this over. If you wanna not do this, we can just not do this. And any charm spell or any of that bullshit that I might have missed, will wear off by then, and we can decide what to do by then. If you want to go through with this, we have ways of staying in touch with you. If you ever want to get out of this place, we'll come get you. I make that promise to you.
Warriors clasp. And I promise to do the same for you. I'll come and help you the same way you help me. But I feel...
I mean, if she'll let you.
There's... People don't just... Like, look at this place. The craziness of it. It's nothing like the Conqueror we are seeing. Look at how they treat the dead here. Such little respect. If I can change that a tiny bit...
You're going to civilize this place, Sophia?
I'm not going to civilize it. I'm just going to... If I start a domino fall, at least one person perhaps burning one corpse, I've done more good here than seems to be done in the past however long until Vela's presence has been noticed in this place.
I hate this. But okay, I can't argue.
It's not our place to question the gods' decisions, but we can for sure
I can
not be happy about them.
I can complain about it.
I'm gonna walk up and take Sophia's hand and sandwich her hand with my own and just give her an annoying smirk. This smirk that I'd usually give whenever she gets caught sneaking or trying to do something. And well, it seems like you finally found a purpose that you were looking for. I'm a little bit creeped out that you're so content about doing this, but I can already tell you've made your decision.
I'm creeped out about it too. When you came warning the Brass Shields, and I knew I need to get out of there, I felt more comfortable staying there and facing whatever may befall me than I did doing this right now. Which makes me think this is important.
Maybe.
The gods want an eye here. Vela wants an eye here for some reason.
Well, I need to message you something private.
Sure.
Quick.
Yeah.
You're going to be playing a much more of a neutral role here, and obviously the customs are very much different. I know you're good at adapting, so you might have to temporarily throw some of your morals out the window whilst you're here. Just don't lose sight of yourself.
I feel that the professor, if I see her again, she'll get me with intricacies of social politique here pretty quick.
Well, rest assured, we'll be at least thinking and crafting different ways and ideas of getting you out once we get home. Might not be within a week or a month, but...
Listen, I got what I needed out of you guys. You helped me put me in front of limes, and I got the revenge I needed for my father's sake. But you guys should finish. Stop that crazy fucking dwarf floating head, man. And end him. Or stop him, whatever he's doing over there. I'll see if I can find out more on this end if they know about it. Perhaps
do we have guard signs on
something. You do, yeah, but they're not like standing immediately around you, but they definitely are like closest one to me 15 feet, but they don't seem to understand you at all.
I want to make a sorry, can I make a sleight of hand check to convey a message in Thieves' Cant?
Sure.
Like, if we're huddled up, I'll just kind of like nod my head down and to make it as sneaky as possible.
Oh yeah. What do you pass her?
What I'm going to convey is, are you sure?
She squeezes your hand tightly and gives you a nod with a single tear rolling in her eye. Like, you've saved my life. And I thank you for that. Hendrik's done so as well. Let me return the favor. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know when. But I can't just keep following you guys around. I need to make a decision on my own, and Vela has clearly forced one upon me.
Okay. You see, Orly's smirk just fades and taps her on the hand, lets go, and walks away. And you need to get better at sneaking. Good luck.
Orly, she's going to be hanging out with us for the next several hours. Where are you going?
Torkel, she walks over to you and Thoric and looks at the two of you. We didn't talk much, but you guys were the most fun to hang around with.
Thoric is going to like give her this like huge big bear hug, like arms wrapped around tight, completely lift up off the ground.
Yeah. She's like tapping like release. You're too strong.
Yeah, he does, and then just like ruffles her hair because of the height difference.
Yeah, her white strands of Azamar hair like kind of fall at the sides. I need to find if they even make hair bubbles in this place.
Probably out of someone's seen you.
Astute as always, Torkel. Thank you very much. I know you'll keep them right. Goes to shake your hand.
Yeah, he takes her hand and shakes it.
You're probably the one with the best chance of figuring all this shit out. You'll probably know what's coming even before I do. But I don't think that this is the last of our days seeing each other, any of you. I'm just sorry I couldn't help you build that temple you talked about. At least not for the moment.
You have your own path now. If we cross again, then you know what? Food's on me.
Torko looks over and he says, I think we will see each other again. Like making a sword, we had forged a friendship between our party and you. It will be important that we make sure that friendship is sharpened and looked after. We'll try to come back, make sure that you're okay, and that nothing untoward happens. It is only a brief reprieve from our annoyance, and then we will return.
Well, really, Torkel can annoy you anytime he wants with sending.
I will keep in touch.
Yeah,
possibly only once a day.
Speaking of stuff like that, she takes out the earpiece. I think your guys are going to want this back.
Well, yeah, probably.
Hands it to you, Hendrik.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Lyra looks like off in the corner a little bit, like a good 10 feet away, and he's got his back turned. I think I need to talk with him in the best private we can manage with the sentries that we have.
We'll go make noise over there. Torko tries to like gather the group together to go discuss something else.
She walks over and she goes to have a Azamar to Azamar conversation about the gods, her leaving, Lyranok's health and his mental faculties, and her where she feels as only a conversation two lesser angels can have about such things. And they talk for a time. They talk privately for an hour, 2 hours. Lyranok gets animated. She calms him down. She gets annoyed with him. And they both bounce off each other and he calms her down. At the tail end of their conversation, the two of them stand up, from sitting on whatever crushed pile of stone they were resting on. They hug each other. They give a farewell in Celestial. And Sophia looks rejuvenated. She looks strong-willed. Her walk is definitely with purpose. Whereas in Leonok, looks like he is sending a child to school for the first day. Like just that proud fatherly look, but still a tinge of sadness in it, of just can't protect them from everything. I can't protect her anymore. And as Sophia walks over towards you and you're still discussing things, you hear a loud kind of like dressing down of someone in a language which you recognize. Hendrik, you have a kind of like the strange soul-like connection to this language. You hear in Elvish, and around the corner, and you kind of peek around. Some people like you can make that gaze as one of these Scarlet Circle warriors has this strange contraption to their shoulder, and it's clearly like snapped. Some glass particle on the top rail of it is clearly snapped as this elven man with a displacer beast cape is like pointing at him and like dressing him down in Elvish, like not laying hands on him, but just like you like clearly swearing at him. And then a scarlet guard comes over and kind of ushers him away to calm down, and he kind of throws his hands to his side and looks frustrated. He looks towards you, locks eyes with you, Hendrik. Do you do anything?
Is this the Panther guy again?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Okay, why is he fucking staring at me? How far away is he? How far away is he?
60 feet.
What a fun. What a fun.
Looking at?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to turn towards him, stare at him in the eyes, and put my hands up like, what? I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to be like, from 60 feet away, I'm going to be starting a fight.
Okay. All right. He looks at the Scarlet Circle and points at you guys, and he clearly speaks to them, and they give a nod as he walks over and kind of like flicks his coat to the side and adjusts his belt, and he starts to make his way over towards the party. About an hour has passed, an hour and a half has passed since everything that has happened has happened. And he walks over towards you, gets around 15 feet, looks at Hendrik, speaks a word of Elvish. You don't react. And he clearly looks annoyed. And he takes out a small item inside of his belt and pops a gem in his mouth. As you see, like he keeps to swallow it, and you see his mouth glow like a bluish, yellowish purple, like all in a flash color. And he kind of swallows it down, curls his eyes, blinks. Can you understand me now?
Yeah.
Good. I don't know how to start a conversation with the Kingslayer.
Well, you say your name, and then I say my name, and then we shake hands.
All right. Walks over towards you, outstretches his left hand. I am Panther.
What? No, our real names.
My real name is obfuscated. Panther will do.
I'm not shaking his fucking hand. I made the rules very clear here. You say your name, and then I'm not shaking his fucking hand. I'm not calling you Panther.
Call me Duval, then.
Duval. Nice to meet you, Duval. And I'll shake his hand aggressively. And my name is Hendrik. Why have you been eye-fucking me since I got here?
It's not very often that someone sees a urban legend walking around.
Here I am.
Looks you up and down, really studying you.
Okay, you're doing it again. You're fucking. You're doing. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to see I wasn't imagining things.
Nope, I'm here.
What do you think of the city? It's fucking insane, isn't it?
I look around for guards. Is he trying to catch me in like to shit talk in front of the guards?
Make an insight check.
Yeah, I'll make an insight check.
So about that local sports team.
yeah, it's
13?
so weird, isn't it?
I'm so flustered and
Yeah.
upset by this.
The weather, huh?
It's not great. I don't like that I can't spend money and that I don't know anyone who's here. I'm trying to go home.
Home would be a blessed place compared to this travesty. I've never saw such a barbaric society.
Well, you're selling weapons to them, so I don't know if that's going to help the whole barbaric thing.
You'd be amazed at what modern weapons instill in decorum to soldiers. Killing at range. Now that removes a little bit of enjoyment out of it. It is said, but it also makes your soul a little bit easier with the whole ending a life thing. So.
I'm confused here. How do I know you? Like, how do you know me? How do I know you? I don't know you? I feel like I do know you, but okay, I don't know you, sure. How do you know me?
You don't know our language. You would have reacted to the insult I gave you if you did. I was testing you. And you travel with...
Out of character. I speak Elvish.
Okay, yeah.
It was an Elvish, okay, gotcha.
It was an Elvish, but it was, one of these dialects.
Thing?
Cultural thing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And you travel with clear foreigners and gestures to the party. I didn't expect that... Well, I didn't expect I'd be the one to come across something like this. Do you know who your family is?
What?
Your flesh, your blood.
Is it some sort of other cultural joke I don't get?
No, your literal family.
I have a mom. She's dead.
I'm afraid you're right on that. Gets a solemn look in his face. Your uncle is very much alive, though.
I don't think she had. Okay. My uncle's alive. Who is my uncle?
Looks towards the party. Got this, but has none of you?
I'm gonna put my.
You're going to need to.
I'm gonna shuffle over,
yeah.
so I'm between fucking Jaguar Man or whatever his name is, and my party, and be like, no, you're talking to me, not my party. Who's my uncle?
You're going to need to sit down for this. Do you sit down?
No, I don't. I grab him.
Yeah. All right.
I don't like grab him my face into it, but I grab him to get his attention. And it's like
he sits down, and the air of, I don't know, confidence and strangeness to him kind of seems to dissipate slightly. Looks up at you like literally like he's looking at something that he didn't think was real. Like imaginary creature. He's looking at something that's like, this can't be real. Like, am I hallucinating right now? Your lineage is that of the moon.
Yes. So I've been told.
That's quite the rarity. In where I'm from.
It's pretty
only
rare from where I'm from too. What's the point here?
Well, there was a rebellious princess who broke an agreement with her father, and visited somewhere she shouldn't have. And you know how these stories go. Woman goes, meets a man from a foreign land, comes back, baby born, yada, yada, yada.
I'm waiting for you to get to the point that involves me.
You're the child of the sister of King Lucian of Tearland.
He's my uncle. No. Yeah. No, I don't. First off, I don't believe that. Second off, I don't care.
I wouldn't have believed it anyway, but that red eye. It's very serious.
No, that's something different.
That is entirely the point of how I recognized you.
Okay, I'm gonna do insight check on this fucker.
Sure.
I'm gonna do it. He's fucking with me. These fucking elves, man. No, that's insight. Sorry, that's it. There you go. That's insight with 3.
23. He totally believed what he's saying. I don't know all the rumors. I'm not kept close within the courts of Galgaline anymore. My business takes me elsewhere. But I heard a little story a couple decades ago. Well, maybe just over a century. With strict orders by King Lucian to his magistrates to kill a usurper of Moonblood heritage with a disfigured red eye. There is to be no limits, no quarter given in any effort not to contribute to your slaying. And you may ask yourself, why am I telling you all this? Surely I could easily rat you out to the king and fetch a great prize. Hey, come here, fuckface Lucian. Your rumored red-faced nephew is right here in a city which you could bowl over with all the power that your kingdom offers. I don't really like King Lucian.
Ian, I have a question. This is my red eye. Is that the eye that got replaced?
By Tyr, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Panther. You're actually mistaken. It's okay. This is just a series of coincidences. This is not my normal eye. I actually had it replaced as a gift from my god, which is kind of interesting. Story on its own, but I won't go into it. This is not my actual eye. My actual eye is the other one. I just point towards my normal eye,
Normal eye,
which is not red, as you can see, sir. So I'm just some guy. I'm
the recent buff.
I'm sorry for being so aggressive. I thought you seem sincere. It's just a misunderstanding.
Oh, well, if you were who you said you were, I had something to offer you, but if I'm mistaken, this is all some big mix-up, then I'll go about my business.
Okay, now it seems like you're fucking with me again. Okay. No, I'm not. Yeah, it's just a coincidence. That's interesting, though. Huh.
Can the rest of us hear what's going on?
Yeah, it's an Elvish.
Oh, it's an Elvish, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an Elvish.
You best not tell me your name. Just in the chance that's ever drawn upon me. But I didn't expect to see something like this at the edge of known society.
Okay. I am sorry for being so harsh to you now.
Fine. If I was approached and told I was a prophesized child who should be murdered, then I'd probably have the same reaction of doubt.
Yeah, I already have people who want to murder me, so one more it wouldn't add a huge. I mean, if it was the nation.
I'm pretty sure that I'm wanted in 7 different countries, and even the southern continent for my business. So we have that in common.
I think that's a mark of honor. You measure yourself by your enemies.
The mark of a great inventor. But trying to teach these oafs how to use modern designs is, well, it's a test in patience, that's to be sure.
Well, they're going to need all help they can get against the Validia Empire.
If rumors are to be believed.
Yeah. Concord's working to fight against them, and I don't know if your guys' nation is.
Despite my birthplace, the great capital of Galgalion, I have found much more fortune and favor being a child of the world than one loyal to Lucian and Amadeus.
It's been a while since you've been home then.
Yes, I relocated out of the capital just before the Third War. But I still have contacts, I still have business arrangements there. If you find yourself within the Dwarven Fortification Union, in its capital, you can find me there.
The capital of Talon?
No.
Capital where?
Dwarven Fortification Union. It's a cabal of dwarven underholds, north, much further north than here.
Oh, okay. I'll keep it in mind.
And if you have actual coinage, unlike these buffoons, then actually, and he reaches into his chest scabbard and pulls out a long-barreled weapon. And you see it has the end of the barrel is like a silver skull with a mouth open wide, and it's got this gnarly twisted handle like wooden grip, and it has these strange inclintation of gems funneled through a pipeline into a cocker at the back. And he holds it in his hand and twists it to one side. Well, I am a betting man, and I'm known to bet against myself. If I'm right, you're going to need this. And if I'm wrong, well, it's just a marketing opportunity. And hands it to you.
That seems fair. I'll see if it's useful and if the Concord can use such advanced weaponry.
You'll need to take some time to understand its mechanics. Probably a couple hours or something like that to practice with it.
Out of character. I'm not that type of person, that type of fighter. Neither is Thoric.
Oh, I know.
Torgal.
He'd give you
Orly
a. It's a single-handed weapon.
I think Orly, you could use a gun, right? A Stody?
What's a gun? Oh, I don't think so.
An arm of fire.
You don't want to shoot it in the face from 50 feet away?
Okay, I'm very noobish when it comes to firearms in D&D,
right?
so I'm Dex.
Yeah, okay, then congratulations, you can use a gun.
You are all going to regret this.
Okay,
Ryan, it's clearly, with your passive arcana check, this is clearly a magical item. This is not
a chemical. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, this seems to be actually something that is magical in nature.
Okay.
And you see that he has another matching one in his other left scabbard as he tucks it away and kind of pulls his cloak over his shoulder. Well, I did warn you, and I hope that the warning, if hearkens to be true, there is at least a meager amount of recuperation for it. But just be warned, north of that big wall of yours built in the borderland between my peoples and your peoples, they'll recognize a face like yours. It's all Lucian's whispered about for the past century in the courts.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the warning actually, because that's too much of a coincidence. I'm really wondering if my god was just trying to pull a prank on me or something.
But all jokes and gallantries aside, I am terribly sorry about your mother. I think Lucian went a bit too far when he did the public execution.
Oh, that mother. Let's leave that aside, yeah.
Yes. The problem with elves, perfect memory. Taps his noggin.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, then I guess I'll just show me how to use this thing. Let me just do that for the next
so
however
you
long.
think this is the side you want to hold it at, and this is the side you want to point it at. And you want to inflict, I imagine you have some knowledge of, and he basically goes and starts to talk you how to use it, and I'll message you what this thing is. I'll message you what this thing is at the end of the session, Ryan. And Hendrik rejoins you, and not long after, as literally as Hendrik rejoins, and you guys would be like, "What the fuck?" The Queen approaches. The Panther clearly sees that, and that's his cue to leave before you can get a chance to talk to the party. And she's walking with that small little hobbiting, scarred-faced lady holding the maps. And then there's another person beside them. You see a small, like 5'4", stunted, growth, human-looking figure. His portions are all wrong. His head is too large for his thin neck. His skin is deeply bruised by years of devilish weather. He walks with pathetic, stumbling gait, and he uses a large mammal-like femur as a walking stick to support, and the staff is coated in etchings. As he walks, he grunts with laboring breaths, and you can see all of his teeth are rotted out of his skull. And he's got frazzled, shocked eyes that never seem to relax as he walks towards you. As the Queen walks up, armed guards at the sides. The Scarlet Circle envelops her Queen. As the little lady is holding the manual. And she walks over towards you, this little laboring little lady. Your information was true. It harkens to our scouts. The Queen has fetched a maid to transport you. She is thankful for your patriotism to the city of flesh. And you realize when she's speaking, she has 3 tongues in her mouth.
Gross.
Queen nods and gestures. She says, "This is Barim Zaf. He was employed by the twins. No longer. Barim, see they relocate to where they wish to." The little small man goes, "Yes, my queen," and kind of stumbles over towards you. And Queen raises up a single finger and flicks it back towards her, looking right at Sophia. "Come, child. You must learn about this city." Sophia looks at the party. "Well, I guess this is when I go." And she goes to move and hug each and every one of you.
Yeah, we'll stay in touch.
Yeah.
As she goes to walk at the Queen, and then the guard pushes her back, and the Queen points, "Talk with the handmaid." And she goes, "And lesser angel, you have much to learn about this place." And she kind of gives a look back over her shoulder, like, "What the fuck?" As Sophia walks off, led by this strange hermit lady, as this small little stumpy man walks over towards you. "I have a workshop. It's where I must contact my circle to transport you. Do you have a destination in mind?"
Breakwater in
Oh,
the Concord.
I mean, is it because Thork has that thing, and we've already spent too much
I
time?
have that thing and it's in Breakwater, right?
No,
Yeah.
it's in.
Do we have time? Do we?
Yeah,
Are we still in time for that?
Torgal
You
has a
if you
meeting.
try and teleport it right now, if you teleport it right now, you
Let's fucking go Breakwater.
you
Yeah.
get there. It'd be tomorrow. So yeah.
Absolutely. This was
Yep.
all my fault. I'm so sorry, Sean. We're definitely going to Breakwater.
We're not apportioning blame, even though you would have all of it if we were. We're not.
All right.
So,
All right.
fine, Jags, it's fine.
All right. Do you want to follow Zaf down the little?
Yeah, let's
down
get the
little...
fuck out of here, dude.
Do I want
Okay.
to follow the creepy little man down the level into his little hole?
Ah, look,
no.
it's a
Am I going to because we have to? Absolutely.
Home stretch,
All right.
man.
Hold up 1 second, guys. Hold up. I thought
Hold
the
on.
meeting was the thing for Torgal, right?
That's one of the things, yes.
And that's something you can't get done with the voice, the message, or whatever the fuck it is.
No, because I need to. Because the meeting isn't between me and someone else. The meeting is someone else. Is someone meeting someone else, and I'm going to go there.
Gotcha.
Think of it this way.
I think
All of our-
that the
Okay,
guy
let's
is
go
in
Breakwater.
danger.
All of our original plans that we had made like 3 or 4 weeks ago, they're still on. We've just had a little bit of a setback, a side quest. But we're promptly getting back to our original plan from a month ago in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You go to the elevator precipice, and you have to go down the elevator back into the 3rd level. And you actually realize you're starting to walk the same path as where you came with the twins. And everyone gets out of your way. Like the twins guards just stand to either side. And you walk into the threshold of where the lair was, where the twins were. And you see both twins in reaction, like to like they've both been caught running, and they're both turned to stone.
Turned to stone.
Yeah.
Oh, they're fucking dead.
I think we backed the right horse.
Zif mutters, "It seems they knew more than they were willing to tell the queen."
The fucking map, bro. They knew.
I hate this place.
I happily stood aside and watched the queen perform her majesty. I had no knowledge of their subterfuge.
Oh,
Come, my workshop is this way.
Can we see the plate armor statue?
Yeah.
Can we take it?
The plate armor statue that they were like.
Yeah, the one that
shooting
they were
stuff
chucking like spears at, but they couldn't get the armor through. Does anybody need plate armor?
at.
I want to go home, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, you could take that plate armor if you want. Might need a bit of work,
Mm.
but
Make it.
It's just normal plate armor, right?
Yeah.
it's just normal plate armor. Yeah.
That's fine. I'll make that someday.
Okay. Someday. All right. He leads you past the little covey into a half dome in the earth, and you see that there are a whole circle of candles, and you see the faint chalk outline of a teleportation circle in the middle. As you walk in, give me a moment. And he starts to walk over to a small repository of items, and he taps the wall a few times, and the entrance to the door shuts, like wheels over, like Jesus of Nazareth's tomb, like wheeling over. Looks over his shoulder. Never mind that. Outside interference might affect the location of the spell's target.
Can I insight check this guy?
Is that a thing?
Absolutely, yeah.
I hope he doesn't fucking kill us.
17. You buy it. You don't know much about magic.
Yep, he's on the level. I trust him.
Seems to sort through his items. Are you guys doing anything?
Hoping that there isn't any future interference with the location, they end up either way above or way below the ground.
Oh shit. Who has the other sanding stone?
She passed it to Hendrik.
Hendrik. Okay, Grant. As long as one of us has one each. Yeah, cool.
All right. All of you at the same time notice something strange happen in the chamber. This small man, his shadow grows larger. The shapes and proportions of this small-framed man change in what looks like an instant. It looks as tall as a house and half as wide. It wears dead purple, bleached by time and moth-eaten and tattered. Wild, stringy hair tangled around its head. Its bramble patch of beard was so thick and matted with filth that its face is all but invisible. But from that face, like the glow of dying lanterns, a sickly yellow haze watches over you now. And this small little marrow that he was holding as a support has transformed as well. The staff is now this bone creature. Sorry, it was bone. It is now turned in this wood-carved, stretched out, naked woman's body with the mouth stretched open. An eternal wail of anguish that makes you uncomfortable to look at.
Look at Hendrik. Is this isn't normal, right? This isn't part of this isn't teleportation, right?
Make an
Orly,
arcana
none
check.
of this is normal.
Or make an arcana check. Andy.
Like this entire city is not normal. I'll do our arcana check.
Yeah. It's changing form, naturally or magically, you're not sure. The neck cracks, like adjusting to a new skeleton.
I'm taking my crossbow from the backpack.
Yeah, you want to grab your weapons out of the satchel?
Yeah.
Seems like it.
These strange yellow eyes just watch you. Kind of licks his lips. First bit of moisture they've had in ages.
Let's speak out to it. What's happening?
I could ask the same thing of the White Rose.
Oh. What's the White Rose? I say Orly actually says that out loud towards him.
Out of character, aren't we in the right
Yep.
road? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we are.
When traveling through a new city, disrobing of all iconography would be some advice I could levy to you for future.
I thank you for your advice.
Okay, maybe I'm misreading it. I'm gonna insight check. Is this guy?
He's about to kill. He's about to try kill.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not getting home.
Yeah. We've been honeypotted.
Okay. What did you handle?
I would. Okay. Do we have time to act, or
we haven't been attacked or anything?
You haven't been attacked, no.
Okay, I'm gonna do insight check. Is he meaning us harm right now?
Make an insight check.
I'd also like to jump on that if I can.
Yeah, go for it. 18.
Thank you.
Because I mean, he's just a weird dude.
Both of your warning signs are like flicking, but it's on that edge. Like you just don't know. You've never seen a creature like this before, especially reform in front of you. Like you've seen like altering forms, but go from such a small guy to this massive hulk of a man, and his staff's transform as well. Does not bode well. And he raises a hand. I see intent in your eyes.
Yeah, that intent is to go home.
And I will provide it. That is non-negotiable. I just wanted to have a conversation in my true form.
Okay. I shape my weapon.
Can I do our arcana check and figure out what the fuck his true form is?
Yeah, make an arcana check.
Ugly.
God
13.
damn it! Now I don't get it. Jack shit.
Not sure, no.
What can we do for you?
Oni-chan?
Oni-chan? Oni-chan.
I see this conversation going a certain way. We trade information, and once that is done, I will activate the spell and send you anywhere you like. I can be very specific of where you need to go.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
What information do you need?
Studies you. any news of the reformation of the White Rose? Has she reconstituted?
DM for 13.
Yeah.
Is this a gin?
No. Much worse, but you don't know what.
I can get a ballpark for 13. Is it a demon?
Certainly looks like some kind of caster.
No public
Oh,
knowledge.
no.
I know.
There's no knowledge being said to us, at least within the rank that we've obtained.
We do not have that information.
Rank. You must have changed. There was members and there was not. They must have reformed since I last met them. The problem with celestial bureaucracy. Always inventing new rules. And he labours around the room. And what's strange about him, the most unnerving thing about him, is when he walks in sort of a shamble and then moves fast and then slow and then shamble, then slow, then fast. Like he doesn't seem to have like a constant rhythm of actual movement.
God, he sounds like a
Deeply
junkie.
unsettling.
Do you work for the Dominator?
This conversation isn't useless after all. In a way, yes.
God damn it.
In what way?
I was his first. Me first.
Person to be dominated? If you want a clear exchange of information, then you have to give us clear information.
He's one of
He
the wizard
buys.
kings that got dominated.
Shifter. First of the taken. At your service.
Why
Okay.
haven't you just killed us then? If you are working for the Dominator.
It is limiting talking to corpses.
Are you
That's
still in
also-
contact with the other 9?
Now, I will share information of what I know. You have already shared you don't know much of the White Rose. I'll share much more, and then I expect something in return. Looks towards you, Torkel. More so than
What are you
I'd
looking at me
like.
for? I'm a part
Yeah.
of the rules.
More so than I'd like. This new generation. Children. Skulls.
You're saying that the Dominator is made more taken?
He's had to. Since the Barrowland, most of it remains entombed, which I'm sure you're aware of.
How many?
You're not so sure of that, are you? How many? Well, we're not at 10 yet, but not far off.
Why doesn't he just untomb all the originals?
Well, there's a very big-eared man in the way. He's keeping 2 of the taken preoccupied.
Who?
One of your important members. Jerome.
How do you know Jerome?
I know of him. We've not met. But I know he is a stalwart member of the White Rose and believes in it thoroughly. My work has made me travel to various different places. You're, in fact, the first White Rose I've talked to in 50 years.
That's interesting. You talk to many people?
Lots. My
Many
role
dwarves?
requires it. Dwarves? No. I don't see race the same way you do.
You understand the difference of race, though, yes?
They're either living or dead, that's what I see. But I understand their differences with Dragonborn and humans, elves.
And dwarves, right?
And dwarves. Be more specific.
I don't know how more.
If your objective is to capture and talk to White Rose members, why are you stuck in the City of Thorns where the White Rose do not operate?
I can't answer that question freely. Give something to me. Something worthwhile.
I look at the remainder of the party.
Is there any news of the lady?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Do we know anything about the lady? I could rack my brains.
We've only recently found out of
We don't know
the lady.
a single thing about the lady in the last 200 years.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we know a little bit.
What do we know?
We know that there is at least some form of a plan to try and make a child.
I thought that was the bad guy's plan, no.
Yeah.
Well, we don't like it's
we don't know. And
it's
no,
gray area, dude. We don't
we
even
don't
know
know.
who's actually good or bad, or if there's even a thing of good or bad. You know?
I thought that was the baldy dwarf's idea, and in my head, he's bad.
I think we have to burn Orly at the stake now.
Why?
There's no good or bad. We don't know the good
It's
guys.
it's all as if when
the
people are
Thorns.
created that they're
Okay.
put into particular categories like
He
chaotic
sighs
good.
deeply. He sighs deeply. Has she made contact with the White Rose? Is she allied with you this time again?
Dude, we don't know.
We are unaware of
literally-
what lady you refer to. We have no real information other than there's certain people with certain ideas of certain things that should happen in relation to a resurrection, but nobody has a plan.
We
We're
joined
more organized than they are.
and before we could get the briefing, we got teleported here.
Freak
Yeah, we had a
accident. You had to be
We
there.
had a mishap with a bag.
He nods. Well, this is certainly more entertaining than I presumed this conversation would go. I thought I'd have to liquidate you all by now.
They thought you said it was unnegotiable and you have to send us back to where we want to go.
Teleportation has a way of going wrong, but I enjoy your motions and actions.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you converse with the Dominator regularly? Or recently?
I'm forced to. He calls like a dog serving a master. I must obey.
Has he made any mention of any new apprentices or any new prodigies or anything of the like over the last 10 years, roughly?
You speak of the aspirant.
The aspirant?
Mortal. Yes. The wayward lost soul has actually achieved more than we suspected.
He's a dwarf, yes?
I think so.
I'm going to point to Torkel. I'm going to point to his Torkel. Torkel has hair, right? Yeah.
No, apart from on his face.
Okay, that's even better. I'm gonna point to
And his
Torkel's bald
arms
head.
and chest and
Does he look similar in nature to him?
So nod. He speaks. I'm alarmed at how little the White Rose Order teaches its new recruits. It's like you're begging to lose this time around.
I'll take that.
You want to see him, Miss Osprand?
No, thank you. We want to go to Breakwater, please.
I could rendezvous you right in the middle of his lair.
That is not what we require. We require to go back to Breakwater.
Also, we've got business in Break. Pressing business. We are needed.
I see. I'm unsure of how you can serve me now. Your priorities do not seem to be aware of the great plan. That is worrisome. I anticipated your leadership would be on it. Jerome would be on it.
I think that we are more disjointed than you have anticipated, which means that you will be very easily winning this battle. So there is no reason that you cannot just send us back to where we want to go.
I suppose. Sits down, takes an apple from his pocket that's rotted,
Disgusting.
and then just rubs it, and it regrows all the way back to where it was.
Excuse me?
Like a freshly picked apple. And then he rubs it some more and it dies again. He rubs it some more and it comes back alive again.
Oh, okay. He's threatening us. We have done nothing but be of service to you since we have met, whether that's to you directly or indirectly via the Queen. We've told you everything in earnest that we know. We've proved how disjointed the White Rose is, apparently. We are of no threat. How about we just stick to the end of the bargain we were promised?
I don't want him to win. He can't win.
Are you here to overthrow the city for the Dominator? Is that why you were working with the twins?
I'm here to be in position when the time is needed. He needs this place. Gestures with his hands. He needs all of it.
Some kind of spooky ritual? What does it go?
Do you need help? Like you personally? Can we get you out of this contract?
No, but I can work against him. My mind is still my own.
Okay.
And if the Dominator is no more, would you be free?
I'd finally die. I'd be at peace, or at least something.
Can I insight check this?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same, honestly.
Oh, thank God, yes.
22.
God damn it.
Already he's a wall.
Fuck. Dear.
The domination. It lasted 37 years. You know how many died just bringing it about?
More than one?
683,221 souls.
You don't seem too happy about that.
Those souls were my own people.
Do you yourself talk to the aspirant? Sorry, I'm picking my time really badly.
Sorry. It's fine. No, he's beneath me. I think he answers to Black Lip.
Black Lip. Where's he stationed?
One of the new Taken.
Okay.
Where does he reside?
You are a Taken. There were 9 other regional Takens. How many original Taken are now operating in this new Taken?
I'm the last original left. Reconstituted. Although there are 2 or 3 within the Barrowland that he wants back.
The original Taken, are their humors close to yours when they were alive? Do you regret?
No. I've had time of independence. I was freed some time ago. I escaped with Limper and Soulcatcher. And the lady. We went our separate ways. I enjoyed freedom. And when he returned to the material plane, with the crack of a whip, I was back by his side again.
What happened to Soulcatcher and Limper?
Catcher was killed north of here. She tried to contact the far realm to grow her own power, to try and get out of the contract she had with the Dominator. Limper, well, that scoundrel, he's allied with Jerome now.
Why can't you become allied with him?
As the first, the bindings are the strongest. While he's here on the material plane, he would know. May it eventually be figured out. His presence, it would melt your souls and shrink your skin if you wanted it to.
Hey, DM.
Yeah?
Is this the first time we're actually getting solid kind of like wording of the Dominator being on the material plane?
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty easy to guess. Shit didn't happen for 1,000 years and then started happening again.
Yeah.
His angle, his motivation has changed. Which is what alarms me. He's less predictable than what he was.
Well, whether this is of comfort to you or not, I feel the aspirant also shares your concern.
He'll be powerless to do anything if he doesn't obey the Master's commands.
He seems confident.
What can the lady do against the Dominator? Why is she so important?
Make a persuasion check, Torkel.
Okay. I'm not good at these.
Ooh. She was there from the start. She knows a great deal about him, more than any living or eternal godly soul. She could convince him to relent somewhat, or has the knowledge to create or uncreate Taken. She's the only other creature in existence that can.
We've heard of plans to somehow resurrect the lady. Didn't seemed a bit far-fetched, but the more you're talking about it, the more it seems probably plausible.
She is around. She escaped with me. I went with her. And Soulcatcher and Limper struck out on their own. She's the only other one of us that was not racked by madness and bloodlust during the domination. But he would not hear her answers, her requests for reprieve to the people. She is no idyllic saintly figure. She's done worse than I in the name of the domination, which is saying something. But I don't think even she wants the world to end the way it did last time around, trapped in that barrow.
Okay. Humor me. Pretend that we are able to bring her back. What do you want her to do? Cancel you out?
Sorry, Sean, did you say try and get you out?
Remove you from your bindings, allow you to experience freedom, death, whatever it is that you had before the Dominator returned to the material plane. Is that the goal?
Stephen, I wish it were so easy. What is the most alarming thing about the Dominator's return? Is that it's needed. Your gods have failed you. They have cursed your people to a doom that requires his intervention. He means to try and save the souls of the conquered from their impetuance. And that
Save
is
them
why
from what?
Something to do with his origin. Not even I can scry so far back to learn what. Something to do that got him thrown out of heaven to begin with.
So he was a god.
He was a
Of
god.
the conquered, and he now has been he has departed the heavenly realms and is keen to take revenge.
As far as I understand it, he was the god.
How does the god get wiped from records, from generations of memories and stories told?
An alarming question, isn't it? Think of the powers that could do such a thing.
The gods.
I'm not asking you to change your faith or your love of all those things. But if there's a chance that the Concord can intervene and stop this madness before he can start his own plan, there is a chance he returns to the abyss, satiated that the world will not end like he had to save it from before.
So you're saying that in order for us to avoid having to have some kind of conflict with the Dominator, all we have to do is kill our pantheon.
No. Their pantheon, for whatever reason, their eyes are like blinders on a horse. They can't see the sickness, the tumor. Your people are shielded from it. I wanted to talk with White Rose to tell them to strike inward, to remove it, so that the Dominator can relent. He can throw off this folly plan to resurrect the great weapon, to break through your people's lands, and carve it up. He may say he's doing it altruistically. He may say he's doing it to save you. But the soul as black as his, once he liberates and proves to your people that either your gods have somewhat failed, or tried to prevent him, well, I think that would be the end of the Concord. And ultimately, should the Concord fall, you'll have another majocracy ruling over the continent with Teoland. And that is a future I cannot abide. It's exactly the kind of culture that birthed a creature like the Dominator in the first place.
What the darkness, the tumor at the heart of the Concord, what is it? People who are abusing their positions of power, or is it something holier, something larger?
It's in the heart of your nation.
God damn it.
It wants to pollute you.
How deep does it go?
You must strike towards hell itself.
There's that much of it?
It's a physical place. It's slumbering evil lays. Your people have been covering it up for centuries. But not through designs of thinking that they know what they're doing. It can manipulate minds, manipulate souls, desires, much like the Dominator.
Can that also prevent stuff from happening?
So sure. All I know is the Dominator sacrificed his godhood to seal it away once. And I don't think your 12 would do the same as he.
Okay, we really need to get back to Breakwater.
Everything I've told you, give it to these in your knowledge of the White Rose. Inform them, warn them, form a strike team. Dig. Go where the mountains' corpses are. Hunt them down. Kill the powers that serve this darkness. Otherwise, you'll have 10 taken and a very angry, crucified god marching their way to your lands.
I think we probably share your same concern, and we'll definitely relate to the White Rose.
Stands up. Puts the apple in his pocket. Picks up the staff. To Breakwater.
Thank you.
Any specifics?
What's it called, guys? Where Jerome is?
He was in the kitty corner.
Wait. Don't do that. Sorry, this is out of character. Yeah. Outside the city. I agree with Doxy. I was about to say the location of the one.
Hey, just send us to our secret base.
Bro, I'm not thinking. I'm so confused with that conversation. Sorry.
I could drop you outside of the wave wall, but still within the bulk of the city, the northern part. I think it's flesh markets and hide tanners.
That sounds perfect.
Are you sure you don't want to pay this aspirant a visit?
We've already declined his invitation before, and from the sounds of things, it probably wouldn't do us any good going to speak to him right now anyways.
I didn't mean speak with him. I meant kill him. They stole the Dominator weeks.
I think you two might share a little bit more in common than you realize. Unless I'm mistaken, the aspirant.
He's pack-bound. The second he shows independence, it would be rescinded. He'd be useless. Whatever ideas he has of being independent of his power will not bear any fruit.
Well, he's proven his shrewdness upon the Concord and these surrounding lands for the last few years without any repercussions. He seems clever enough. I think he's taking care of his tracks now, to be honest.
He's too worried of the enemies outside to worry about the blade within. There is no place for him amongst the taken. He's too weak.
Well, if that's the case, there isn't much urgency for us to go kill him right now, is there?
Once this weapon is ready, that firewall will come down. If it remains, it will greatly upset the trajectory of the Dominator's plans. That's as much as I can say. Even I have limits to what knowledge the Dominator bestows upon me. I wish you good fortune, new generation of the White Rose. But
thank you for sharing your information with us.
It is all for naught unless the reincarnation is found soon. Or the lady.
Hopefully we can find a way to remove you from these jackals and repay the information you have given us.
Just tell someone what I've told you. I can't subjugate another world again. I'll go mad. Taps his staff on the chalk lines of the teleportation circle. Enter.
Don't have to tell me twice. I walk in.
Thork steps forward.
Okay, let's hope we don't get liquefied.
Into the center of the sun.
To the Dominator.
Express delivery. He taps
Here
his
you go,
staff,
Dad.
and all of you fall through the floor as you disappear through a quite comfortable ride, like falling in the beanbag chairs as your vision swims. And as quickly as that sensation begins, you open your eyes, you're lay on the ground, and you're in an alley.
No push, shove, jump, teleport all over the place bullshit like last time.
His magic's much stronger than anyone else you've ever met. He has some comfortable teleportation magic.
That was pleasant.
I don't want to be teleported anywhere for a very long time, so please don't touch anything.
You hear the sound of people working, various, calls and movements, the bells ringing. You can smell salt water, and you can smell just like decayed, dead fish, flesh.
Yeah. The smell of piss and shit from home. How good.
We're back. I see this as an absolute win.
We lost a party member, and now the left-hand lieutenant of the Dominator knows that we have absolutely no information. So that I don't know if that's winning, but
hey, if they think we're incompetent, they won't expect competence.
Well, they don't have to because we're incompetent.
The fact that we were incompetent gave him the reason to tell us all that he told us.
Right,
we lost.
We needed that because we are incompetent.
Sure. Well,
I think we're forgetting that we're incompetent.
I don't know about you guys.
There's compartmentalization and then there's incompetency. I don't know which one we are right now. We have
pretty incompetent.
Thor just tapped the side of his head and goes, if they think you're stupid, and if you're smart, you win. If they think you're stupid, and you're stupid, it's all equal, so it's a win-win.
I need a bath.
I have somewhere to be. I don't know if anybody wants to accompany me, but
I will.
Oh fuck!
I will definitely help you, Torkel.
We already did the recon scouting on this place before we got rudely interrupted a couple of days ago. So I'm gonna follow the scout path we've taken.
We came all this way. Let's go do the meeting, and then we get a bath afterwards.
Okay. All right. So you're in northern Breakwater. You're in the gutters, like the literal gutters, where most of the poorest folk live. And you have to pass through the Torment Maw Gateway, this massive wide section. You see a carved stone behemoth-sized shark with teeth as long as fully grown men is carved over the archway. It is worn by time and cracked in place, which even makes it look even stranger. And a small plaque rests below it. Behold the Torment Maw, the foulest fish with salt in its gills. You present your identity stones. You're gained entry. It's coming up to 4 o'clock, roughly like that. You're at the end of nearly at the end of the work week. You can hear some people finishing an early shift, heading off towards taverns, all these things as well.
Quick question.
Yeah?
Did I get any different kind of a look or feel when my identity stone was being checked?
Make an insight check.
Sure thing. Give me another good one. 3 in a row, please. Nah, well, you can only get so lucky, I guess.
And the most alarming thing to all of you is, by God, people here aren't starving mutant wretches. People here wear clothes, and they're not blood-scarred, and there's not piles of shit everywhere.
Oh my God, we're the piles of shit. We must smell so
Kim, I would like presentation to clean myself entirely.
And not the whole party.
No.
Maybe not. I can understand not me.
I thought this was a faction choice for you, Orly. Is this not your vibe?
Listen, I will pay for all of us to get bathed and floated again if necessary. If that means you guys can forgive me for opening some bandages.
All right.
I mean, no. We'll have to discuss that later because it's going to become a bit more.
Where are you guys going?
The red brick house that has the
place. The disused storm tower?
If that's the place that we had to meet them.
Yeah. I mean, bear in mind
wherever the meeting is going on, because I'm assuming it's like 9 or 10 o'clock now.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow, is it, or is it tonight?
It's tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, then we can go have a bath and do other stuff. Sorry, I thought we had to get home today because it was tonight.
No, it was the next day. That's what I was like. Damn, this man's keen.
No, I'll allow Hendrik to wash for the first time in a while.
I like some proper food as well.
Yeah.
All right, everyone spend 10 silver.
I'll
or a gold piece.
I'll pay for the whole thing
at the minimum. So 5 gold at the minimum.
What's everyone doing?
I'll pay for myself. Don't worry, Orly.
I'm paying for everyone. I will stand my ground on this.
I'm. See how many people are here in the party?
You want a buffet?
4, 5. I want a good clean of myself. I want my armor. Oh, well, I can clean my armor. I have an armor cleaning kit, and I want a buffet. I want to have as much food as I possibly can, mostly protein, meats.
All right, and you want it really nice. You want to be taken care of.
I hate you so much.
Hell yeah!
I want courtesans in every room.
All right, that is just on him alone. That's 25 gold pieces.
25, okay.
I'll cover it.
I will take 2
I'm
courses.
paying for everything.
1 to wash the left side of me, and 1 to wash the right side of me.
Okay. I'm going to go for 35 gold for Hendrik, because he is getting some fine-ass treatment.
I would like a straw bed, maybe some oats and porridge for supper, and 1 incense candle to try and make the room smell nice.
No, what he's doing is trying not to have. He don't want to have already pay for anything.
1 gold.
I just want. I don't need
for
anything special or fancy. I need somewhere to sleep, somewhere to pray, and maybe somewhere to look at some rune carving or something like that. That's it.
1 gold for Torkel. So you're up to 61 so far, really, in your bill.
Okay.
One gold as well for Leonok as well. 16.
You guys are being stupid. I don't want to waste my favor on a fancy room. I want to call my favor in.
Okay, fine. I'll allow that, I guess.
How much spend on yourself already?
I want to get 4 or 5 large bottles of wine.
That's another 50 gold.
I want to get bathed.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, actually that's it. I'm good with that.
Just bathe in wine.
A total of 115 gold pieces to lavishly spend your party.
What was it? So 50 gold plus then what for bathing?
A total of 115.
No, but I've been for me, for me it's a total of 115, is it?
For you a total is 115.
Gotcha.
And you got some of those like shiny shards.
We have some, yeah.
All right.
You talking about the currency of the
City of Spines? Yeah.
Yeah, we have some, don't we? No. Yeah. Oh no, we do. Yeah, we have like a few of the white. Yeah. We gave all the yellow ones to the gnome.
Yeah. All right. You'll relax. You find reprieve, shelter, warmth, clean water, soap, liquor, food, feast, and then finally a tupper finds you all. You enjoy each other's company, or being lonesome, praying to the gods. You have facilitated a lot of change. You have learned a lot of things in your small little vacay to the Kalmarsha Plains. Stuff that I didn't even anticipate you guys coming into yet.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's anything you guys want to talk about in character.
Well, I give everyone a bottle of wine. I keep one for myself.
Okay.
And I open mine. And I chug. Because I just want to chug and go to sleep.
All right. You'll stay at a lavish luxury bathhouse, spa, restaurateur, and eatery all in one in the nice part of Breakwater. You stay at the Bayview Lodging. You have beautiful views, pleasant company, and your long rest. And as you awake for the next day, you all hit level 7.
Oh, fuck.
So
Right.
with a level up, do my past grievances like automatically get forgiven by the rest of the party via game rules cipher?
I don't think it works like that.
Yeah, rules is written, we forgive you.
Yeah, let's do piety there, guys. Quickly. Bold Ray. Trying to think for. I would say a point. I know Lernok would do it anyway, so I'm going to treat it as such. Treating strangers with respect and offering the same treatment as family. You treated arguably one of the worst creatures in creation with respect. And you may have a point of piety, both Lernok and Orly.
Okay.
I think for not so much this session, but I think over the next couple of sessions, I think that Thoric's going to get a lot of piety from writing about all the shit that he saw over there.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we'll park that for the now, but just bear in mind, be working on that stuff in the background. Kinos, absolutely taking decisive action. You get a point of piety for that because you were pretty impulsive a few times.
Let's go.
And then for Tyr, nothing for Tyr, really. For him. But he can argue with me after the recording if he wants. All right. That was a stressful session.
Yeah.
I just thought we were going to do a bug hunt in some fucking lava-filled caves, guys.
Yeah.
So did I.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that means I get my fucking subclass
Yeah.
thing.
I
Hell
was
yeah.
looking at that earlier. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Documents.
I just realized. I'm so sorry, Cypher. You probably had a whole fucking battle map and shit like that
I'll just save it for another day.
That's fair.
The next time you go back to Kalmarsha to save Sophia from lava crawlers, she wouldn't got the eggs.
Yeah, I probably should have said if you wanted me to roll deception for when I was saying that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you guys ran into a bunch of NPCs that I just put there, and I was like, well, if they find them, they'll find them. And I was
Nice.
like, oh, Max, the professor, Shifter, the Queen,
The Panther.
the Panther, the weapons dealer. Oh, I need the best shrine. What he got? Great, excellent.
Oh, fuck yeah! I'm rogue. I get evasion and reliable talent. Yes.
I get living shield. All creatures within 30 feet. Wisdom saving throw. Each creature that fails at disadvantage on all attack rolls does not target you until the beginning of your next turn. And you gain a number of hit points equal to your con modifier for each failed saving throw, twice per long rest. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, where is it?
Oh shit! I can turn into Randall Thor from Wheel of Time. I get Flame Blade as part of my fucking PA thing.
Yeah, nice.
Cool. Oh, I get Fabricate and Wall of Fire.
That worked. Resource.
Oh my god! I've just realized because I kind of went with almost kind of like a jack of the trades kind of rogue build. Reliable talent helps me out so much.
When someone said you're giving the cop a gun, I was like, yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah. Strange stuff about the Panther and Hendrik there. Strange stuff about his backstory, maybe. Maybe you got the wrong person.
So they said they were looking for a red-eyed. Like the red eye was sanctioned ages ago, right?
Mentioned ages ago, or what he said, what the Panther said, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember. Were we told who kind of like gave the information that made it
Well,
become...
we never heard anything because it was all in Elvish.
No.
Elvish.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I'm just curious, like
basically he's saying he floats around Galgalion, but he doesn't really like it. And he heard a great deal of time ago that King Lucian is hellbent on getting a moon elf with a red eye killed.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that lines up with my goals exactly as well.
I just knew, Sean, you were like, oh, this queen likes Luthic? Fucking sick. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys never got to meet Shifter in Campaign 1?
I do not believe so.
No.
I don't even think we knew who Shifter was.
No, we didn't. You knew he was out of the Barrow, the Great Barrow, but he was doing other stuff. He didn't want anything to do with Soulcatcher or Limper at that point in his life.
So what we do is we look around for who's going to give us the most gold for handing over Hendrik.
Nice.
No, he wasn't.
Oni-chan?